And welcome along, everybody, to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. And we're continuing the battle of the European qualification process today as we continue to find our way through that bracket. Now, of course, the Universal Open Season 2, all about 2v2 Rocket League, and all of the teams from both North America and Europe continue to fight it out for a slice of $100,000. Now, I'm going to be your desk host for tonight. As always, my name is Onset, and joining me, as always, is the dynamic duo. We have Achieves and we have Shogun back. It's the penultimate day, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's a sad time.
It is a sad time.
But it's also an exciting time.
A little bit of a sad time. And, I wore red tie today because there will be blood. It's going to be brutal.
True.
It's going to be brutal today.
It's very, very true. Now, we always want to hear from you guys at home as well, so make sure you get involved today. We want to hear your tweets. We want to have them flying into the studio today, so use that hashtag UOS2 to get involved. And also, don't forget to follow at Universal Open over on Twitter to make sure you don't miss out on any of the action we have upcoming. We have another regionals, and of course, we have the grand finals coming up as well. Also, let us know your predictions for today, because we don't know anymore. Like, we've given up with Europe. It could be anyone. So let's have a look at the format and see exactly how things have gone down. We're getting, as we say, into our penultimate day now of the online qualifiers. So let's see where we stand. As you can see, right at the bottom there, we're in Europe, 7th to 9th. We're here all week. Now, the top 4 will progress through to our grand finals. No regional tournaments here for Europe. It's all about that top 4 who will be going through. Also, keep an eye out for San Francisco, that regional finals for the western region of North America. That'll be on August the 11th, and the winner will join the winners of the other previous regionals to fight it out against those European teams. And that happens, Stamford, Connecticut, 8 teams, August 24th to the 28th, the double elimination tournament. And as we previously said, $100,000 on the line for that team who manages to take it home. Now, let's have a look at the Brisk bracket then. Let's have a Brisk bracket update and show you exactly what is going to be going down today. Chiefs he's already hinted at it. Today is going to be a bloodbath. We have seen some upsets yesterday. We saw Game 5s in every single series that we brought to you yesterday, and we're excited to bring you to more action today. You can see at the bottom there, Dignicats taking on 2 Swedes, Fnatic taking on Mouse Sports, PSG taking on Inspiration, and Dignitas, who also fell into that lower bracket, will be taking on Method. I mean, gentlemen, let's have a quick look at the schedule for today before we get into this discussion about what we're going to see today. But we're starting off with Dignitas versus Method, and then we have Fnatic versus Mouse Sports, and then we'll have some lower bracket games to finish off with today. But, I mean, yesterday was full of surprises, full of Game 5s. I mean, we saw Vitality eliminated. We've seen Dignitas fall down to the lower bracket as well. I mean, it's a question we can't really answer, but what are you expecting to see today? I would imagine the unexpected.
What do I expect to see today? I expect Dignitas to move on, and that's about all I can tell you. I don't know anything else. Yesterday, a coin beat me in predictions.
The coin of truth is back today.
So I don't know.
It's very true. I've still got it here. Shogun, are you excited about today? Because you were excited yesterday.
It's only going to get better and better as we go across. The only thing I can predict at this point in time is that we're going to come out of a ton of these series and just say, wow, didn't see that one coming. That's the only thing I'm predicting.
Okay, well, for some things that we can definitely predict, and things to keep an eye out for today are, of course, our Dual Force Achievement Unlock. Now, that's going to be given to any player who scores 7 goals and makes 11 saves during one series. Just to highlight the... it's not me today. Oh, that's a shame. But never mind. Production is in one of those moods today. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll get you back. But, yeah, just to keep an eye out. Yesterday, the level of Rocket League that we had, every single series, we managed to have that achievement unlocked. So keep an eye out for that one today. And on another note as well, we had a record-breaking amount of goals scored yesterday. And thanks to our fantastic partners over at Soylent, thanks to that, every single goal that's scored during Season 2 of the Universal Open translates to 10 meals donated by Soylent to the World Food Program USA. Now, as we said yesterday, we broke the record. We hope we can do it again today. But if you want to get involved, again, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open and help Soylent out with what is a fantastic cause. Now, let's talk about our match 1, gentlemen. I just want to get into the Rocket League today. There's enough talking for now. Dignitas fell into the losers bracket yesterday. You have to say it's an upset whenever you see Dignitas losing games at the moment, but they're going up against Method, and they've got some talent on that team as well.
Yeah, for sure. Method, of course, made up of Rix and Burrito B, or Rix Ronde, I should call him by his full name. But yeah, they both played, or Method played Rival Series last year. Got knocked out, had a pretty a lot weaker showing than perhaps they were expected. Went 2-5, and think this is the first real big high-profile tournament they've competed in since then, and of course, Dignitas, K-Dop, and Violent Panda. No real introduction needed, other than they win everything. So a bit of a shocker.
Yesterday.
A bit of a shocker to see them in the losers bracket, to say the least.
And what you expected to see in this match, Shogun? I mean, every time I ask you, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, I will happily talk about things I feel like I know about, and I'll happily say I don't know when I just simply don't know. Thing we do know is that it is the RLCS World Champions and the defending Universal Open Champions on one side against a relatively recent Gfinity Elite Series winner on the side of Rix Ronde. Burrito B, he's been around for ages. He's been one of those players that I remember when I started picking up commentary. You look through, you start being very diligent when you start commentary. You're looking through every single player, seeing if you can pick him up. Burrito B is a name that sort of stuck with me as one of those players that was always going out in the first round, but he's stuck with it for the longest time, and now he's up at this level. Okay,
well, very quick predictions from you, gentlemen, before we get into game number 1. Are we favouring Dignitas pretty heavily in this one?
Have to. There's no way you can pick against them. Despite them losing yesterday, they lost to Killer number 7 and Freaky, but they were 1-goal games, so a close series all the way throughout. Went to game 5, of course, but there's no way you will ever get me to bet against K-Dop and Violent Panda in 2v2.
Okay, Shogun, you feeling the same?
Yeah, a rehash of RLCS, a lower bracket run, sounds pretty normal for them.
All right, then. Well, our first game, I believe, is about to get underway. We're looking forward to this one. Yesterday was all about game 5s, and we're expecting nothing different today. Let's get straight into our game number 1, then. Let's bring the action straight to you at home. It's Dignitas taking on Method.
So for Method, can they create yet another upset in the Universal Open Season 2 European qualifiers? Going to be starting off on offense, and that could have been a great chance, but here is K-Dop, the big one to worry about, nice. The undisputed king of 2s.
Absolutely. K-Dop, I think, is perhaps the best 2v2 player in the entire world. I mean, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, about his long-standing reign back in early 2016 with Fairy Peak, and then Universal opened, and he teamed up with Violent Panda and proved that it doesn't matter who his teammate is, he's just going to go out there and win.
This will be Violent Panda acquired. Tried for a half flip. Reset on the ball. Didn't quite work out. K-Dop bounces it up high. There's going to be no opportunities for Rix Ronde to move in. And then a challenge won by K-Dop. He's got a lot of territory for his team. Dignitas find themselves on the offensive now. Backboard move. Rix Ronde might have to worry. It's actually going to be Violent Panda's goal, where just a tiny bit more he's taken out of the game. But Burrito B's not looking too comfortable here on the ball, and K-Dop's happy just to shadow.
Ooh.
Low boost on K-Dop will mean can't do too much more than trying to force a challenge that Rix Ronde refused to give to him. Long ball. Violent Panda went hunting for Burrito B. Couldn't quite get the bump. Now K-Dop shoots long, and he's got it into the net.
Yeah, this is really just a result of baiting out the attack from Burrito B. They're trying to cut off the pass to Violent Panda. Problem is, K-Dop reads exactly where it's going next and sets himself up and fires a strike into the left side.
Dignitas looking comfortable so far in the opening minute. Got to try and convert this now to a victory. Burrito B is going to be unchallenged. He's got the goal to aim at, but really was not going to trouble K-Dop too much. Follow-up could mean some problems, though, as K-Dop just stares down Burrito B, who was thinking about taking a shot.
And the crazy thing about Dignitas and why it's so hard for, all of us analysts to ever say they have a chance of losing a series is just because K-Dop, Violent Panda, especially in 2v2s, these are two guys that make things happen on the pitch. They don't always do it in the flashiest way, though they are capable of it. They win challenges, they put the ball in great spots, they make it tough for the offense to have success for the other team, and it's two brilliant players, just masterful control of every aspect.
I do believe when it comes to analyst predictions, Dignitas have only been chosen against once by the majority. That was the RLCS Grand Finals, and that was because the entire desk was American. Rix Ronde looking for the follow. It's going to be K-Dop, just plays it long. Follow-up challenge from Violent Panda, but Burrito B's done pretty well. Can't do too much more, though, as Dignitas controlling the pace. Not overstretching. They recognize that they've got the 2-goal lead. Violent Panda just taps that one on. And Method seems to be underestimating the amount of power that Dignitas can get from any touch. They're always just a little bit too far forward, end up trying to rotate back before they can take control of the ball again.
Well, the crazy thing is even if they do read the touch right, K-Dop and Violent Panda just, they see that adjustment. And it's amazing how quickly that they adjust their own touch to accommodate for it.
Violent Panda, he's just off screen trying to force Burrito B up into the air. Follow up, Rix Ronde's still got the boost, and that was crucial. Now they got to try and transition. Burrito B tries to go straight for net. That will not be enough. Dignitas back on the ball.
Rix and Burrito B have had a couple of opportunities catching them off guard, and dangerous spot, K-Dop, for once. That might be the first time I've ever seen him not score off a shot from the top of the box on a bouncing dribble.
Yeah, just didn't quite catch it correctly. Well, that's go crossbar and in, but just didn't quite get there. Violent Panda once again clears. Method, if they want something to happen, they need to really start forcing Dignitas to make some defensive mistakes.
Oh, man.
Rix Ronde didn't get that one in, and now K-Dop, he's got the ball on his hood yet again. Violent Panda to the far side. Try to fake out.
Well, Rix and Burrito B have definitely gotten Violent Panda to jump at a few things in front of the net. They've had a couple of half chances over on Method's side of things, and they haven't converted any of them. Another great one right there, completely uncontested in the middle of the box, and it's just a weak touch forward, and that one slips through the defense bar and around, and thankfully not in. Violent Panda second chance and kept out by Burrito B.
This one has got to work out. Rix Ronde one-on-one against K-Dop. Goes the long way. He's going to have to bring Burrito B into this game now. Burrito B's already on his way back. Lateral pass. Violent Panda just cutting that one out. Now with 40 seconds, Method just hoping that Dignitas will make some sort of mistake. There's been a couple of double commits from Dignitas, but still nothing capitalized on just yet. Rix Ronde for the double tap. Now we transition to the upper end of the field, and this is just
what
painful. Looks for the dish.
K-Dop wishing he would have been a little bit closer. He had the boost, but I think the clock management side of him took over a little bit there. Slow air dribble, and actually gets the muscles through him. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to get that over the top of that Batmobile. But either way, gets right under the bottom of the ball at the end there and just goes just over Rix. Nice touch.
Yeah, recognizes that Rix has got to get any sort of contact. When you're in that situation, you just position yourself that a little bit better, as long as you can predict where the ball is going. Might be able to loft it over the top of the defender, but a rare clean sheet we're going to see. Dignitas able to assert their authority over Method.
Now, you say clean sheet, but I think there were definitely a couple of chances that Method could have put a couple of goals in the back of the net, at least made it a closer game than it looked, and probably should have been, and I think they make those adjustments coming into the second game on set. But overall, K-Dop 3 unassisted goals, Violent Panda, not lighting up the scoreboard or anything, but, you know, it's kind of either Violent Panda does literally everything for that team, or he just says, all right, look, you're winning, fine, I'll go do whatever.
Okay, well, let's obviously talk about that game number one a little bit. Dignitas taking the first game 3-0. Method had a little bit of a shaky start there, but it seemed like they got a little bit of rhythm towards the end of that game, which was important for them. I feel like they've came out of that game, even though they lost 3-0, with at least a little bit of momentum behind them. Yeah,
I think definitely a little bit, but the offensive opportunities that they're getting have been decent. They've got to make more of them, though.
Yeah.
A lot of their shots are straight down the middle, or they try and be a little bit too soft with the way they're going for it, so they'll try and force a double tap or something where they really just don't need to. Try and find the top corner, get the defenders on Dignitas moving, and eventually you'll just open up an open net for yourselves. But it seems like Method believe that their one chance is exactly that, one chance.
Yeah.
So you're only ever getting one shot out of it. You need about 2 or 3 if you want to get past Dignitas' defense.
And it is kind of interesting to see, you know, again, I think this is a game where the scoreline doesn't exactly do it justice. I think Method certainly could have made this a closer game. And it's interesting that, you know, I don't get the feeling that K-Dop and Violent Panda are unequivocally the best team in this tournament. Like last year in the finals, they had a 75% win rate last year. 75%. Like the team in second had like 58 or something. It was crazy. It's like they crushed the field. And it's just interesting to see how much, like, they spend so much time devoting their time to working on that 3v3 game, working on the RLCS, and now you're seeing them being like, hang on, we have to, you know, scale all of that back and say, all right, this is 2v2, and kind of re-navigate that learning process all over again. It's interesting.
Okay, well, one thing to note is that we had 3 goals scored during that game, so that means 30 meals going to the World Food Program USA, thanks to our partners over at Soylent. Of course, if you want to get involved, wfpusa.org/Universal Open. So make sure you head over there and help out with a fantastic cause. But I think we're almost ready for our game number 2 now, gentlemen. One thing I want to just get your opinions on. I didn't feel like Dignitas really really gave it. That wasn't the top level Dignitas play.
No.
I think they got that lead there, and then they kind of just they played safe for the rest of that game.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's
which is scary.
yeah. The crazy thing is how easy they make it look out of the midfield. You know, K-Dop and Violent Panda, despite them, you know, not looking like this crushing, overpowering 2v2 squad, they still position themselves brilliantly, and they're tough to get it through.
Well, game number 2 is underway, and K-Dop once again tries to pick himself up an early goal. Violent Panda, he's having a thought about that, and once again it's crossbar challenge, but this time Violent Panda will find the net.
So it was great patience from Violent Panda out of the midfield. He had to wait here just in case Rix or Burrito B was able to get a touch. As soon as he saw that Batmobile go right under that ball, said, all right, I know K-Dop's behind me. He'll be in a tough spot, but a lot of faith in both of the Dignitas players to be like, look, I trust you to be capable of making whatever play has to be made behind me.
Rix Ronde on the herd, can go the entire way, and almost got it in, but K-Dop with a monster save. They can't keep it out as Burrito B with yet another one.
Denial at first, but finally the pressure prevails. Over the top of Violent Panda, just didn't boost up high enough, and good effort from K-Dop, but Burrito B, perfect challenge mechanics, gets a big part of the car. The center of it turns it sideways even, so that ball can't even punch left or right. K-Dop trying to force it out to the side of the pitch, and just a perfectly played challenge from Method to get that one through.
Violent Panda looking for K-Dop, but that was a belly flop of sorts from Rix Ronde just to clear the ball. And finally, the first goal for Method. Couldn't find the back of the net last time. Took a major challenge, and this one will not be going in. Not been the fastest paced game so far. It's definitely allowing the opportunity for these teams to get very creative. Pass one, Burrito B's by himself, goes straight for the net. That was the K-Dop special. Yeah. K-Dop, I don't think, he either bounce dribbles or he just lashes it. I've never seen him try and dribble on his hood.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I've always noticed whenever I see K-Dop in a 2v2 environment. Absolutely. I mean, he'll beat one. That's a
thing as well. He transitions that.
Yeah, he beats one guy out of the midfield, and then he puts that defender on defense and says, look, you're going to get a hard shot from around the top of the box somewhere, and you're going to have to save it. And more often than not, he turns it in.
As soon as he gets that space, he's got the whole... It's like a self-set-up infield pass is what he tries to go for. Still 1 goal each, though. Burrito B on the hood.
Great timing on the challenge from K-Dop there. 2-on-1 the other way.
Now Violent Panda infield to K-Dop. Blocked by Rix Ronde. Well read. Now K-Dop leaving it for Violent Panda. It's consistent offensive pressure. 2 players committed, though. That will break this down for Method. And they can now start to move out. Although Rix Ronde, he prioritized boost. Gives the ball over to Violent Panda. We'll find out in just a moment whether or not that was the correct decision. But Burrito B, what a mechanical play that was. Almost managed to turn it into the net. And Rix Ronde, not there for the follow-up.
Man, they're scaring Violent Panda in front of the net for sure. But credit to Method where it's due, absolutely. I mean, Violent Panda and K-Dop, they're reading these plays brilliantly, and it's requiring some great outplays out of the midfield. Burrito B is just waiting in this midfield for this one. It's not a very good pass from K-Dop. It's not a very good pass from Violent Panda, excuse me. It's out in front of K-Dop, doesn't go to the side, straight to Burrito B, and he's just in the right place at the right time. Gets a free shot and takes it.
Seems like Method are holding themselves back a tiny bit more. Last time they were trying to read, found themselves too far forward. This time around, though, they've got it just right and have been able to capitalize on whatever moves come towards them. K-Dop and Violent Panda off the kickoff with a decent amount of pressure, but Burrito B tries to control, and he's going to get caught out. K-Dop immediately challenges.
And again, that's that timing out of the midfield. They steal the boost. Again, something else that Dignitas are so good at in 2v2. They keep the ball high. They make the defense waste a lot of time and a lot of resources trying to clear balls, and then they just steal the boost out of the corner, and that's usually the reason that it ends up breaking the defense down as it did there.
Feels like maybe Burrito B went to the ball dribbling transition out one too many times, and K-Dop now suddenly knew it was coming. Trust me, the risk was there that Burrito B just levers it away from the field.
Wow.
Now it's going to be K-Dop, pretty much 0 boost. Still managed to get decent contact. Rix Ronde for the double tap. Can't do it, but K-Dop, he'll be low still. Just over the top, Violent Panda cannot get back in time. Good pressure for Method, they just didn't let up.
Yeah, that one felt inevitable. You know, that high shot, the first one from the top of the box, was dangerous enough. Violent Panda and K-Dop had, 1 boost between them in first. And eventually it just broke down out of the midfield.
What I do actually like is that the ball was always kept in the middle of the pitch. Usually if you go left to right, it gives the option for Dignitas to maybe steal a boost or two. Instead, it was just right down, and there was no options to go for. So now 2-3. Dignitas looking to make it 3-all, but Violent Panda just put the shot a little bit too high. Ronde out to Burrito B. Read again by K-Dop.
Pass.
Infield, but K-Dop will not be there for that. And Burrito B, he sees the opportunity. Over to Rix Ronde, who just can't get there. 10, maybe 15 boost, and that would have been 4-2 to Dignitas. But Dignitas, I mean, Method actually would have been 4-2 up. It's Burrito B on the hood again. Just goes as far across, and that is such a well-placed shot.
I mean, it felt like K-Dop was positioned pretty well for this one. There wasn't too much space given, but I think he missed that boost in the corner. Yeah, he did. He might have got that if he picked up that boost in the corner. Didn't have anything to work with, but either way, Burrito B, I mean, if you're going to shoot it, you're going to have to shoot it far post. K-Dop gave him that space, and he took it.
That's the 4th goal this game for Burrito B. Almost set up his teammate after the attempted bump on K-Dop. Violent Panda. Can't quite get that one over. And now it's just 1 minute to hold on for Method. Drop down. Burrito B, he's got plenty of time. I don't quite know what Violent Panda was after there. You already see Method just not going to commit too far forward. Drop down. Violent Panda just keeping that one out.
Wow. Great fake challenges here from Method.
They know that they got the boost advantage, at least for the time being. Violent Panda used all of it to go off the ceiling. Might still create something from this, but Burrito B with the clear. Now looking to go to the other side of the pitch.
Nicely layered defense from Method there. They get up early, force Violent Panda to take a difficult shot on net. The second guy behind him just waits to see what he gets.
It's great field control from Method. Just don't look like they've panicked. And that is the sign that you want to see from them, as they are going to take this series, of course, why not? It's not even a surprise at this point, to 1 game each.
What do you mean we're tied?
Impressive.
It's another one of those series. It's going to be another one of them.
It's going to be another one of those days. It is going to be for the next 2 days. We all know that already. Yeah, we saw what happened yesterday. We thought it was going to happen. It is happening. But Method, very, very impressive. Not only just taking the win there, but the way that they went about things. Very calm, very composed, and most importantly, in comparison to that first game, they put the chances away.
Yeah, here's also an interesting thing. K-Dop and Violent Panda got 14 shots on the net this game, and I remember maybe 6 of them.
It's a little bit hard to use Dignitas' shots as a way of telling the way they play, because that's just the way that they play. Yeah, they will put 4 or 5 shots on target to get a goal. Yeah,
there's a lot of touches high above the net that might get registered, but again, Onset brought it up. It's Burrito B, Rix Ronde. They handled exactly what Violent Panda and K-Dop give them. Perhaps one of the most passing-heavy 2v2 teams in Team Dignitas here in the Universal Open. A lot of people we've seen has been, air dribbles, ground dribbles, a lot of individual effort required to get a lot of things done, like that shot from Burrito B. And Violent Panda and K-Dop are much more the passing style of teamwork approach. And they read a lot of these passes and cut a lot of them out. So it's credit where it's due.
I was about to say, Rix Ronde is a very confident young man. We know that. But it seemed like he was confident enough to actually take those challenges. Because a lot of teams will go up against a team like Dignitas. They almost sit back and they'll be like, okay, we're playing these great players. We want to, we don't want to concede.
Yesterday.
Exactly, like PSG did yesterday. But they were willing to attack those passes and try and get those interceptions, and it played out for them quite well.
So the one thing I will give them huge credit for is that they weren't just focusing on what they had for themselves. They knew how much the boost that they had, but they also knew how much boost Dignitas had, and you could see them playing those situations incredibly well, where they just knew, okay, you're somewhere between 20 to 40 boost. I can play you like you've got 20 to 40 boost. I'm going to take this ball up into the air, make you come over to me. I'm going to put you into a position that you can't quite react to. It's been phenomenal game management from Method, but they've got to keep it up.
Yeah, experienced game management as well from these two players, which is something that we have seen in the past. Sometimes they can get a little bit shaky, but they've come back, and now we're tied up at 1-1 in the series. Obviously, we'll have a game 5 today. Obviously, we will. But
we will have at least one.
How do you see the next one going, gentlemen?
I don't know. This one's a game. You can ask the coin right now, because game 3, you feel like you've seen a pretty standard showing from both teams, and it's going to take a big shift in either of them to really pick a decisive winner for this one.
Whoever wins this one is not winning the next one. That's all I'm
That's all
giving.
we need to know, really, isn't it? Well, game 3, I believe, is about to get underway. Of course, this is the swing game. Win this one, you've got 2 chances at match point. And imagine if Method win this one. They're going to have 2 chances to knock Dignitas out of the tournament. I mean, would we have called that? Probably, because of what's happened yesterday. But anyway, let's get straight into the game. It is game number 3.
And even if you get past this stage, there's still so much left to try and make it into the Universal Open Grand Finals. I believe you've got 3 rounds you've got to go through if you're at this point in the bracket. K-Dot. Ball under his own control. Going to go wide with it, and he's actually got Violent Panda up in support. Infield pass to Panda.
Well
and once
read.
again, Burrito B. He's so active. You can see when he's trying to rotate around in defense, he is determined not to lose momentum. That's exactly why. He's trying to keep himself up and moving. So his infield passes do not become options. So K-Dot forced to cut that one out.
It's going to be a tough touch for Violent Panda, yeah. Almost have to give the ball up. Great pressure from K-Dop, though. He knows he can't win that ball. He's just trying to buy time.
Rix Ronde's not got contact. It's going to be K-Dop with the follow off the crossbar. And Burrito B saw that was going to happen. Once again with the dribble. He's got it over the top, and that is going to be a successful dribble. Burrito B is having a great series.
Yeah, this is a beautiful dribble. As soon as he sees Violent Panda not challenging, he gives up on that short hop, says, all right, we're going to reset everything, and then restart that whole adjustment process on this dribble towards the left-hand side of the box. And Violent Panda just couldn't handle that. Great readjustment from Burrito B. It's good vision out in front and taking what the defense gives you.
I feel like Burrito B's got 4D vision at this point. He is just smelling the plays.
He's got 5 goals in a row.
Well, Rix Ronde, he hasn't got any right now, but in the words of Metsunaris, he won't care about the fact that he hasn't scored.
Truth. Metsunaris, #1 in assists last season. Magnus, of course, #1 in goals scored last season. At the Universal Open, I should be specific.
K-Dot trying to find a way past Rix Ronde. He has now been committed.
Oh, nice
Faked out.
dribble.
K-Dot tries to just force the challenge, but it was pretty neutral.
Yeah, great recognition from Burrito B. Saw that second little fake attempt and said, that's too much space, and he went and shut that down immediately. And you touched on it in the first game. Rix Ronde and Burrito B, active approach to defense, not willing to give Violent Panda and K-Dop any space to work with.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the shots from Dignitas going high. There's a reason for that, because they've got to try and loft it over the top of an oncoming challenger. Here's Rix Ronde, just for the subtlest of touches, but still K-Dop able to read it. Great defensive play from K-Dop, keeps his team in it, and then there's the infield. Violent Panda with an absolute boomer into the middle.
Yeah, Burrito B in charge of the midfield defense. This is the perfect pass from K-Dop. It's away from Burrito B. He's still in charge. He knows Rix Ronde is going to be behind him, but that shot's far too powerful. Finally a pass that can work out for K-Dop and Violent Panda. They see the spacing just not quite covering enough of the pitch for Method, and they finally got a chance.
Oh, wait a second.
You're kidding.
That was a great touch, and Rix Ronde has got his first.
So let's see. Kickoff. Oh, he was so close. And Violent Panda, of course, the one who went for the kickoff. Off grabbing boost in the side and can't make it all the way back. And Violent Panda's going to be a little upset he didn't get any piece of that.
Now, to be fair, Rix Ronde has got no right finding that angle. Off the backboard, lead re-established for Method. And they are just under half the game away from putting Dignitas into a dire situation to hold on for their tournament lives. Remember, this is the lower bracket. No more second chances.
Great
K-Dop
pass.
infield once again. Getting a lot of success, but once again, it's that challenging player forcing the ball to go high.
The passes were good. K-Dop and Violent Panda, they're making the adjustments. They still want to keep that passing play approach, and they're keeping it away from the defenders. It's just the finishing now.
Right back out. Burrito B again in the way.
Oh, that's a miss. Wow. K-Dop, respect. He was waiting in the midfield. He was expecting a touch from Burrito B.
Violent Panda won't be able to get that over to K-Dop. Burrito B still got the ball.
1-on-1.
Once again, Caleb looking for the
Great
the
demo.
slicing shot, and Violent Panda, he's put it high again. Is there some sort of target up there? That one, we've managed to give excuses for some of the other ones. That one didn't really have much of an excuse, but Caleb will be able to take advantage of this. Violent Panda just...
They switch things around. They say, all right, look. I've been hitting the crossbar. I'm going to go hit the guy this time. You take the shot.
That was a shield bash to try and keep him away.
Worked out, though. They do equalize the game, but yeah, Violent Panda, the finishing not quite top-notch early on in this series, to say the least. Tough save here.
Caleb able to do it every single time Dignitas have brought it back. Method have scored pretty much immediately, but this time around it does not seem to be the case. Caleb's just trying to find some sort of room. There's no boost unless he goes all the way back. That's going to leave Violent Panda all by himself for the time being.
Ooh, almost got the bump on Burrito B. If he had, might have been a chance. Great clear from K-Dop into the corner and a double touch. That's pretty.
It's ridiculously good and it's opened up so much space. Violent Panda, yet another bump. I think the eyes have gone red and he sees blood in the water.
Oh, no.
That's going to be just off target. Violent Panda now. He's got K-Dop in support, but that will not be anywhere near.
And that ball rolling just a little bit too fast. Impossible to get all the way on the side to cut it straight across the pitch. Pass, top of the box, and saved. Rix Ronde again, right on top of these passes.
Yeah, just seems like Method have got an eye closer to the off-ball player than they actually do the on-ball player, but the offense is still around. Burrito B, he's got to try and carry away, but K-Dop, he's kept this around. Goes for a bump on Rix Ronde.
You know, Shogun, it's a different Method roster than it is last time, but it's still just as tight.
Great challenge, Burrito B. Almost could have seen his opportunity, but just didn't bounce out for him. Kept too close to the wall, but he has stole the boost.
Oh,
K-Dop
great launch.
just launches it away, and now Rix Ronde has to keep it on his hood. He won't be challenged for a while. K-Dop faking out his own challenge. This is the swing game. The winner of this has got 2 match points. Infield pass to Rix Ronde. Saved from Violent Panda. Just lacked that little bit of sizzle on the shot.
Yeah. Brilliant composure, though, from Violent Panda. Didn't panic, didn't jump at the one off the back wall. Said, all right, where's the shot coming from? And he got there.
So easy to go for a pre-jump.
Oh, here we go. Decent chance.
Hand up goes for the double tap. 2 players already up there. And now K-Dop will be unchallenged for the time being. They're trying to put this ball as high as possible and secure the boost. But Burrito B, out to Rix Ronde again. Can he get a second touch?
Long clear.
He has, but Dignitas waiting on the goal line.
Nice fake. Love
Violent
that play.
Panda, infield pass again. Will it work? Off the crossbar, and K-Dop can't get there after the backflip. Over a minute of overtime played. Both teams have had huge opportunities.
A brilliant adjustment from Violent Panda to even get the chance. K-Dop now trying to do it himself off the bar and out.
Crossbar is the best player. Method are having great games themselves.
Yeah.
But that being said, the Crossbar is their best player at this moment.
It's been the strongest defender in this game, that's for sure.
Violent Panda can't quite grab a decent enough flick. It'll be Rix Ronde challenged by K-Dop off the backboard. Burrito B, he jumps early. He knows K-Dop was going to come searching for him. Now Rix Ronde can clear. Over to Burrito B. K-Dop will be the one who's charged defense. Can he do anything? No, he cannot. And the defending Universal Open champions have got one more chance.
And this is a great touch from Burrito B. This is all possible because as K-Dop made a boost steal run in front of that orange net, the one that he wanted to steal wasn't there. He went to the other side. Burrito B drives out to the corner where the clear went. The boost spawned, and he gets to go the length of the field, and K-Dop has to watch and say, please don't put this in. And, you know, you can pray as much as you want, but no.
This is amazing. This is brilliant. 3 match points now for Method to knock out the defending Universal Open champions, as you said, Shogun. I mean, you have to say that Method, they rode their luck in that game. That crossbar, as you said, did them a few favors, but at the same time, players of the quality that we have on Dignitas, you expect them to be finishing some of these chances.
Yeah, surprising to see them hit the bar that many times, and, you know, they made the adjustments. They did exactly what I wanted. They started keeping a few more of those passes away from the defenders. They got some quality shooting chances, but, you know, the crossbar is everybody's friend and everybody's worst enemy all at the same time, and sometimes it works against you.
Now, I've just got to give a shout at this point. Burrito B.
Huge.
He is... I've never seen him play this good. I hope that this never stops for him. This is not the level he's currently at. This is elite level that he's playing at. And if he can maintain this, there are big things in the water.
And, you know, we sit here and say that, you know, Dignitas are hitting the crossbar and that's why they lost. Like that one right there. To be fair, yeah, that's why they didn't win that game. But you also have to give all the credit in the world for the ones that were on target. Tough chances to make, and both Rix Ronde and Burrito B had to make some huge defensive stops. Great aggressive challenging. Didn't let things get any closer than they had to be, and you know, they have an active approach on defense, which is a tough thing to come by in 2v2. It's tough to really condition yourself.
Confidence as well to do
exactly.
that. It's a scary thought to think that, you know, if that doesn't go right, you end up looking stupid.
Exactly.
And you have to give massive credit to them. You know, they withheld the storm that came in from Dignitas there, and then the one opportunity they got at the end, they buried it. That was the important thing. I mean, you've seen so many times where the opportunity comes, they'll get that one chance, they don't put it away, and then before you know it, the game's over and they've lost it.
Yeah.
So it's only so long that you can withstand that pressure from Dignitas before you get a chance of their own. They took that chance. Now...
Dignitas win the next one.
Oh, God, true. Now it's time for Dignitas to win. We all know that, and then we're going to Game 5. I mean, but you have to feel that Dignitas, if they start taking these chances...
If they stop hitting the crossbar, they win.
The crossbar and hits that. Exactly. They're going to win this game. They arguably should have won that second game.
Yeah.
You know, the guys on Method, they put up a fantastic performance to keep it level for so long. But
exactly. Here's the thing, you know, I say it all the time.
That's the tough thing for them.
Fortune favors the offense. K-Dop and Violent Panda are controlling the pace of the play in that regard most of the time. And, you know, you keep having chances like that, they start going in.
It seems like something we're saying a lot this week, but don't change what you're doing. Just do it better.
Just do it better.
Okay, then, while the teams are joining the lobby, is game number 4. If you're just joining us, yesterday we had Renault Vitality eliminated. Today, Dignitas are looking down the barrel of being eliminated. Let's have a go. Let's have a look then. Let's get into game number 4. Let's get straight into this one. Elimination on the line here. Method could win this all.
Certainly could do. Still 5 minutes, though, between them and eliminating the Universal Open and RLCS champions.
Ooh.
Oh, K-Dop is just stepping up when needed.
Oh, mama.
Like silk through the Method defense.
Oh.
Didn't jump until the last touch.
You don't have to analyze it. Nice dribble, K-Dop. Good shot. You earned that one.
That's just superb ball control. Now Dignitas have got the lead. Going to look to try and really capitalize on it. I think Dignitas are just... They know what they're up against now. And Method. We've seen how strong they can be with the few offensive opportunities they've been getting. Burrito B.
Ooh.
By himself, he's done a couple of these already. I do like that, one thing that Method have done so well is the communication. They know when a player has not got the boost to be involved in the play. And I don't think I've seen them double commit defensively in quite a while.
Yeah, they've been right on top of it.
Considering the pace they're playing at is very hard.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any real, you know, 2-on-0 opportunities for K-Dop and Violent Panda. They've always had somebody there to defend. This is a great pass, and again, it goes high.
It's the infield pass. That one wasn't even challenged. It just needed to be on target.
Woo! Hi, K-Dop. Good save.
Dignitas just a little bit of shooting accuracy could make all the difference. Still got the 1-goal lead. Burrito B be watching that one go over the top as Violent Panda couldn't get there for another challenge. Rix Ronde cutting that one out.
Again, a couple of missed pathing things for Dignitas. They leave a boost on the pitch that shouldn't be open for their opponents, or they don't pick up any. That's been another thing that I've noticed, but that's a great bump by K-Dop out of the midfield. If Violent Panda can get a handle on this one, they might have a chance, but just takes too long.
He was just turned around after being bumped himself. Let's go for the half flip to try and set himself back up. Violent Panda's first touch, not great, but he can keep this one going, try and force a challenge. Now K-Dop taps it down.
Oh, he's so sad that didn't bounce out. Rolled up the wall.
Could be an infield pass challenge this time from Violent Panda. Not very often that Dignitas have had the opportunity to go and challenge one of those. Rix Ronde sees his target, and Burrito B, he's already rotating back. One of the first times that it just seemed like there was a miscommunication between the two Method players.
But we've seen this before. K-Dop and Violent Panda trapped in their own half with limited boost, and more often than not, we've seen it turn out well for Method.
Yep, they're going to have to look towards even those
Great
small boosts
clear.
around them, but finally escaping, still with that 1-goal lead intact. Violent Panda goes straight for net, and it's crossbar again. They're going to leave a dent in it at this rate. That poor thing. I feel like their new strategy is not, don't shoot under the crossbar, but if you hit it hard enough, it'll eventually break and make the goal wider. Although Burrito B's almost got it over the top.
What a touch from Violent Panda. More importantly, got it out of the goal mouth towards the corner. What a touch.
There's just no rebound shot available for Method. And now K-Dub tries to go far side, but Burrito B just keeping that one away. It's very rare, a 1-goal lead. Getting towards the very beginning of the match.
Gonna need help.
Becomes the difference maker, but for Method, as each
No, he
second
won't.
goes away, it's gonna get harder. K-Dub's got his second.
I thought he was gonna need help to put this one in just based off the angle. Burrito, but he's got 76 boost in the net. Oh, he backflipped. Okay, now it all makes sense. I was like, how did he not have a chance at this?
It was pretty bad positioning. You don't want to be slap dab in the middle, facing outwards. It looked like he was just waiting for a pass out, rather than maybe thinking that K-Dub could go the entire way by himself.
And he jumped. But mechanical errors, sometimes it happens. Great pass,
Oh.
great fake, and that's a 1-2 and well executed. Violent Panda. Beautiful reception here.
Look at this for a touch from Violent Panda. He knows Burrito B is challenging. Burrito B's been challenging all day. So get him out and then take a shot. Hope Onset's got the coin ready.
He's gonna need it. He's practicing the flips off screen, baby.
That are all the practice flips. The coin of destiny has not been wrong yet.
I'm scared to pick against it. It's like, even if it tells me, I still firmly believe Dignitas come out on top, but if the coin says Method, I'm gonna think. Oh, what a bump.
Backflip. Here's another shot
Oh
just
my
off the
gosh.
crossbar. For a 3-goal lead, that's not going to hurt as much as those previous ones did.
Oh, great demo. And high again. Man, they opened the door so well.
For any of you Rocket League statisticians out there, whatever.
Statisticians.
Statisticians. There's an S in there, apparently.
Yes.
But if anyone can, figure out the amount of times that crossbar has been hit this series,
A lot.
make sure you inform us at #UOS2. Because I'm genuinely curious at this point in time.
Hang on a minute. I did not expect this one to find the back of the net here. Okay, yeah, just launched it. Don't think he was really intending to shoot it. Burrito B probably should have had that one, but, at this point, 40 seconds left, I think they've kind of, accepted their fate here.
It's amazing how many extra goals. You've seen it a few times throughout this season where teams just start to recognize that maybe the game's gone away from them. And once they exit that sort of hyper-intense mindset of must win, some of the goals we have seen have been pretty weak.
What was the wonderful term coined by Mr. Marquis Duda?
We're not saying that one on air.
Oh, great pass.
I believe he calls them do goals,
Yes.
as in, I've done a goal.
I've done a goal.
Greg
Oh, did they
Tronde
get
looking
one?
to try and pick up one for his team. That will not be on target. Method are going to be facing down their own tournament lives in Game 5 against Dignitas. And Onset, I believe you have something to say.
It's time for the coin of truth.
Oh,
to
really?
Come out.
I was expecting it's Game 5, baby.
Usually,
Drop the
it
ball.
just
feels
is.
normal.
It's become so standard that we
Redundant.
have Game 5s.
So bored
That-
with it.
The hype isn't quite there. So, do you know what I mean today?
The hype isn't there. Dignitas could go out of the tournament.
All right, fine. It's Game 5, baby!
There we
Let's
go.
get into it. Here we go. But let's talk about Game 4 first. That was a stifling performance there from Dignitas. They managed to wrap the crossbar a few more times, but they finally mixed it up a little bit and did finish some of their chances they were creating.
Yeah, it was. If Game 3 went slightly more right than, for them, that's basically what it felt like. The same infield passes, still hit the crossbar a couple times, converted a few more of the chances, and more importantly, K-Dub another 3 unassisted goals, a lot of individual efforts, but that one,
Oh, that's
beautiful
so
passing
good.
play.
That's such a good play and such a good adaptation.
Yeah.
After seeing it go so wrong for them for such a long time, but that right there was a world champion's response to adversity.
Yeah, that's very true. When your back's against the wall to come out and pull out a performance like that, that is why they are world champions. That's why they're the current Universal Open champions as well. But now the most important thing to do is flip the coin of truth.
What does it say?
So, heads, Dignitas, tails, Method, right?
Okay.
I don't even want to know. I genuinely don't want to know this one.
Okay.
I don't want to know. But I feel like Achieves' reaction has given it away.
You'd love to know.
I feel like Achieves
You wouldn't believe it. But breaking news, look at this one. Achievement Unlock. The Dual Force Achievement Unlock. K-Dop coming through with 7 goals and 11 saves already before our game number 5. So great performance coming in from K-Dop in those first few games that we've had. So far, we've had 4 games on a broadcast. This is our 5th game on broadcast so far for the European closed qualifiers. Every single game has been a game 5 so far. It's become predictable. They need to mix it up a little bit. Come on, guys. All right, predictions from you guys, though.
Dignitas, still.
Dignitas? All right, then. Let's get into our game number 5. Dignitas still have it all to do. Method, could they cause the upset?
The fact that we reached game 5 has somewhat become predictable to this point. I can tell you something, the winners of those game 5s have become anything but. K-Dop out to Violent Panda, and what a shot that is! Dignitas starting well.
If there is one thing that K-Dop, Violent Panda, and Turbopulse as a team all share, it is brilliant vision of the pitch. Doesn't matter where they are on the field, they always know where their teammate is and where they can put the ball for them to go and get it. And it's one of the biggest reasons that they've had such a successful passing career in general.
You look at what Dignitas do on the pitch when it comes to these passing plays, and it's so... Dignitas
Same thing.
Could be about to completely defuse the situation.
Nice catch from Violent Panda as well. Coming off the side wall, had to jump a little bit early, timed it beautifully to still get under the ball. It's so easy to just lift that, 15 feet in the air and just take all the speed out of it and give the defense a chance to react. Perfect execution in the corner.
Now Method just haven't looked at their best ever since going up to series point.
Hey, it's the post. It's not the bar, it's the post.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it quite counts. Those of you that I asked earlier to keep count, that one does not count.
Okay.
It's crossbar only. Back down. Burrito B just gets there. Gonna need a response from Method if they want to try and create a real game from this. K-Dop, late challenge. Burrito B has double committed as well.
Oh, man.
And K-Dop's missed.
What? That can happen?
Apparently so. Luckily for Dignitas, they've still got their 2-goal lead. Rix Ronde at least wins the challenge, but got to get past Violent Panda. He's just trying to buy for time.
And you feel the pressure from Method as well. Starting to, they haven't double committed hardly at all, and now you really see the fangs start to come out a little bit here, and it's a forward approach, to say the least. They're willing to take a risk because they already know 2 goals down, even with 3.5 minutes. Considering how many chances they got last game, they're willing to try a little bit harder and risk a little bit more.
There are also 6 goals unanswered against Dignitas. Violent Panda, yet another challenge. Just trying to control the midfield.
Oh, here's a chance. Violent Panda has no boost.
2v1. Burrito B's just going to be a backup. They've tried to go for the setup. A 2-1. 3 minutes and 14 left.
And you said they play the ball well, they play the situation well. Violent Panda, they knew he had nothing out of the midfield, and just to, really send the message home, they made sure to push him out of the net to give him no chance, and a perfect finish from Burrito B there.
Yeah, Violent Panda's just got too many options that he's got to try and cover. It's always going to end up being second best. Rix Ronde went out, wanted to go for K-Dop, who just was not moving.
Yeah, you had to let Rix Ronde go over his head first before he jumped at that ball.
Method starting to look hot, though, when it comes to their offense. Off the backboard, Violent Panda's not going to go for it. Opens up some space, but he does take out Rix Ronde. Now Violent Panda and K-Dop breaking away to the other side of the field, forcing Burrito B to come out for a challenge. That is crucial. Now just over. K-Dop forced to push to the corner. Burrito B tries to follow. Tap up from 1. K-Dop can't get there! 2 goals each!
He tried so hard. They had to give up the space in the corner here. That boost steal from Rix Ronde is the big difference maker. K-Dop so close. Just at a bit of an awkward angle on the first jump. And if he had been lined up a little cleaner, maybe could have got there. But again, Rix Ronde and Burrito B, they get the slightest of margins and they capitalize.
Half the game left to play. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 5B. As Burrito B will go for it. And another one. This has been a star-making performance from Burrito B. Imagine if that went in, but now K-Dot one-on-one.
Ooh.
Almost managed to force a challenge to just push the ball straight through Rix Ronde.
Also had the secondary option of if Rix Ronde dove at that far post shot, it was going to be right behind him. Even on a dribble off the nose, K-Dot had a couple of different options.
K-Dot once again trying to fake past Burrito B.
And it's amazing because I've sat here in these previous qualifiers before, said the ball's on your hood, you're controlling the defender. K-Dop's one of the
Doesn't seem that way.
Yeah, K-Dop is one of the dribblers who, even not on the hood, he makes you do what he wants you to do.
He just pushes the ball to a better place to shoot. That's really the only way to describe Dignitas or K-Dop's
Oh, they got beat
chances.
so
But
hard.
Rix Ronde turns it in off the infield pass, and Dignitas, the barrel yet again, is pointed directly at them.
Yeah, K-Dop decided position for Burrito B to maybe try and take that on a dribble towards him out of the corner, and as soon as that happened, there was no way he was going to have a chance to stop this pass out to the top of the box. Perfect from Method.
So now 3 goals from Method unanswered. Dignitas have got to pick one up, otherwise they will be eliminated from the Universal Open. Pretty much we were asked to start off this week just to pick one team that we thought would definitely go through. We both said
all
Dignitas.
4.
And now, Burrito B, he completely ignored Rix Ronde. Probably should have been Rix Ronde's shot.
Oh, I thought he was going to miss that save for a second. Got a little worried for Rix.
The pressure will be on, the hands will be shaky. Burrito B tries to follow.
Needs this clear.
Could
Tough
just
one.
Take one infield pass
Whoa,
to bring this
Violent
game
Panda.
back together, but Dignitas have got to get the ball out of their side. Violent Panda waits to see what Burrito B will do. Just under a minute left now.
Oh, wow. That little clip on K-Dop killed all that pressure. If he was able to recover there, who knows what could have happened.
How much boost did Dignitas have? Seems
K-Dop's
like
on
enough.
20.
Infield pass attempted. Burrito B. He's so thankful that Rix Ronde took that ball away. Half a minute now. Dignitas don't seem to be setting up too well. They're struggling to go for it.
Wow.
Big challenge. K-Dop tried to take out 2.
And Violent Panda positioned himself so passively off that air dribble.
Oh,
Where does he
no
go?
way.
He didn't have the power into the top corner. Time continues to tick. Coming up on 10.
Burrito B, he's going to go for the longest, slowest, most dull play he possibly can. But he might have just left Rix Ronde in a 2v1.
Oh.
Infield attempted. Violent
It's high.
Panda up high. Just tapped on. Burrito B for the challenge.
What a clear.
They've got to try and drag this the entire length of the pitch,
no.
but they can't do it. The Universal Open champions from Season 1 have been eliminated, and Method will be moving on.
The
Can
coin.
you believe it? This week has been incredible, and the coin of truth comes true once again. It went Method.
It
I'm
did.
done.
It went Method.
I'm done
Something
disagreeing
freaky's
with the
happening.
coin.
Something freaky's happening here, but what a Game 5 performance there from Method. If you go back to that Game 4, and the way that Dignitas just completely outplayed them, to put in a performance like that in that Game 5, hats off to them.
Man, and again, it came down to how well they executed. It started off brilliantly. 2 great passing plays from Dignitas to get him out on the right foot, but unfortunately, again, Dignitas got put in 1, maybe 2 real tough spots on defense, couldn't make
That
the
could have
adjustment,
finished
and that could have finished it. K-Dop with that huge, missed, wide open net.
And you just see great plays coming out from Method just consistently.
Couple of tough spots, and they nailed them both.
That's the one thing, every time they had an opportunity, again, they were so good at putting them away. There was very few opportunities that we saw Method really miss,
This
to be
was a
honest with you, in
star-making-
comparison to Dignitas.
This was a star-making performance for Burrito B. This was one of the best individual performances I've seen from him. This is not to say Rix Ronde did bad. Rix Ronde was phenomenal in his own right, but Burrito B stood out to me.
Yeah, Rick's had plenty of assists, so yeah, Rick's definitely getting things done, but Burrito B also. Kudos, man. I wasn't sure how they'd stack up at all.
Okay, well, one thing we should make you aware of, 23 goals scored during that series. Method are going to be happy that the majority of them went to them, and thanks to our fantastic partners over at Soylent, that means 230 meals will be going to the World Food Program USA. If you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. But the headlines from our game number 1 is that Dignitas are reigning Universal champions, will not even be at finals. Incredible stuff. Let's have a quick brisk bracket update when we get a moment to exactly show, what's going on, because at the moment, I don't know what's going on. This is a crazy week of Rocket League here. You can see it will be Inspiration who take down PSG Esports as well, 3-1 in our other losers bracket game. So PSG are gone. They are eliminated as
Is
well.
there any RLCS teams left at this
have
point?
gone as well.
Dignicat. Oh, Dignicat's lost.
3-0.
Who are the two Swedes? What are you doing?
I've never heard Shogun's voice go so high.
I didn't even know it could go that high. All right, so let's go for Complexity.
Yeah, Complexity.
Complexity girls.
Yeah, Complexity and girls. No names.
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. RLCS is being decimated at this
A
point.
little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, this
To say the least.
This all lends itself to a very exciting season of RLCS coming up as well. But all about the Universal Open right here. We want to hear from you guys. What do you think is going on right now? Because there's something in the water here in London at the moment. Another one of the favourites, the only team we could pretty much pick to be guaranteed to be going through to the final, are gone. And of course, we want to hear from you. So use that hashtag UOS2. Follow us over at Universal Open. It's a bit of a change into the guard this year at the Universal Open. Game 1 is done and dusted. Method move on. We're going to go for one more very quick break. When we get back, what's game number 2 got for us?
So, State Farm will be here to help protect our home.
Of course.
What about here?
Yep.
Here? Mm-hmm. Here?
Feels a little awkward.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
We're watching the Universal Open together.
And he was in charge of the snacks.
I might have gone a little overboard.
Brisk Dual Force Guava Ginger Limeade, exclusively available at 7-Eleven for a limited time.
Out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Is this really what I'm thinking? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I'm thinking? Is this really what I'm thinking? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I'm thinking?
And welcome back, everybody, to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. And welcome back to the most unpredictable week of 2v2 Rocket League you are likely to see in a long time. We have just seen reigning champions Dignitas knocked out in the losers bracket by Method. And now it's time for our second game, and that is going to be Fnatic taking on Mouse Sports. Now, gentlemen, we've already had another Game 5 so far. They're starting the day off exactly as we ended yesterday with the Game 5. I mean, the current champions have been knocked out. Can we have a little bit of parity? Can we have a little bit of a calm down here?
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Fnatic versus Mouse Sports. Let's talk about these two teams.
Yeah, so yesterday, Mouse Sports responsible for knocking out Renault Vitality, of course. Alex decided in the middle of that series to score everything in the world, and then Tigray decided to close it off with a nice 4-goal game in game number 5. Yesterday, Maestro and Snasky, they struggled a little bit versus... Back one more page. Complexity, Metza and Magna Norris. And they put up an okay performance. It was a little bit surprising to see Metza and Magnus miss a couple of opportunities, but they didn't look too bad yesterday.
Yeah, I think Fnatic have always been a team that I've always seemed to lack that general creativity required to really step them up to the next level. When it comes to fundamentals, when it comes to rotation, when it comes to having everything behind the halfway point, they've always looked solid. But whenever they get pushed into that final half of the field, they suddenly seem to look a little bit lost and
missing a bit of a spark.
Yeah, it's always sort of seemed that way. Yesterday, a little bit better, but at the same time, if they want to go any further, especially with the upsets that we've... RLCS teams are dropping like flies, okay?
Yeah, this is one thing you were talking about before. It's like, this doesn't look good for the RLCS teams right now. They're struggling a little bit out here in the 2v2, but... I mean, the thing is, this is the lower bracket. There's still games to win for these teams to even... be in contention of qualifying for the finals. Like, this isn't just like, for example, Method. They've just beaten Dignitas.
Casually.
Well done.
Got two more to go.
It's kind of irrelevant if you don't win your next two games. Yeah, exactly. It's such a horrible bracket to be involved with at the moment as far as competitiveness is concerned. It really is just a fantastic watch for everyone involved, and we're just sitting here and we're just lapping it up at the moment.
Yeah, it's been it's been an exciting 2 days. You know, yesterday was the first day I got home, and I was actually tired after a broadcast. I was like, I am physically exhausted after yesterday, so it was it's been something to say the least.
I was surprised. I was knackered as well.
I love it when we get to this because it suddenly goes from being a commentary job to I am a fan with a headset.
Yeah, that's exactly how it becomes. I mean, luckily I mute mine like during the games because I'm kind of like and all this sort of thing going on. It would just sound a bit weird over YouTube, so I try and keep that down. But we've had a couple of tweets coming as well. So Kenny Robinson saying this is just showing the strength and depth in the EU. I mean, great point. I mean, exactly what it's doing. And another one coming in from Acidon RL saying the EU closed qualifiers are insane. Never doubt the hashtag the coin of truth. You can never doubt it. It's as simple as that. It is a thing now. It is a,
is the coin of truth like 4-0 at this point?
It's 4-0.
It's 4-0.
It's 4-0.
It's better than we are. Let's be honest with you. Okay, let's get predictions for this one, though. Mouse Sports were impressive yesterday. Alex161 in particular seemed to have raised his game from the last time that I saw him, at least. What do they got to do here to take this series? More of the same from Alex?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Alex and Tigray both yesterday just went off on offense, kind of walked all over Fairy Peak and Pashy, and despite Fairy Peak putting up a hero's effort to try and bring that back from the brink, it just wasn't enough. The combined might was too powerful, and if you ask me, I think Fnatic are the ones with the work to do here. I think they had a much more powerful offense over on Mouse, and that's what you're going to have to stop.
I actually have to agree with this one. I think this is the first time we're going to bet against what would typically be the favorites, but Mouse Sports, I think that they're the ones more likely to go through.
Okay, let's set ourselves up then for another potential Game 5. Everything until Game 5, irrelevant. It's going to be a Game 5. Don't worry about it. Whoever wins this first game is fine. Obviously, we're already kidding, but we're going to get into this one right now. The teams are joining. Fnatic versus Mouse Sports. It's another mouth-watering fixture here. Every single game that we've had so far has been a mouth-watering fixture, and you have to remember that all of these teams are currently battling it out for a slice or an opportunity to get to the finals first, and then $100,000. Let's get into game number 1. Then it's starting in the background. As you can see, Fnatic taking on Mouse Sports.
And Alex161 automatically going exactly where he loves to be. Went immediately off the ceiling, and that is a statement of intent.
Yeah, that's a way to start, to say the least. Heck of a save, though, from Fnatic.
Now Snasky looks to try and find some way of passing. Alex161. Once again, looking to control the ball. That is a great boost steal, though, from Maestro. Didn't want to give Alex161 too many options. Tigray tries to force a challenge. And Maestro tries to sneak through Alex, but he will be there just in time, but will not be quick enough for the boost. And now Fnatic look to settle in on the offense.
That's
and that is
banger.
not a great save. Snasky puts it too high.
Yeah, that's just a rocket of a shot from near the top of the box. A good boost steal, like you were talking about from Maestro, really stops Alex from being able to do anything. And Tigray just gets himself a little bit too far out of net. Pretty sure if he stays back inside the net, he can get up to that ball, but he came out a little bit just in front of the corner and had to go back to get it and couldn't get all the way there.
Now Snasky, open net to aim for. And as good as Mouse were yesterday, today is a whole nother day, and this is a whole nother series.
It's just, you know, we saw, I don't even know how many kickoff goals yesterday.
I mean, that's one of the first ones we've seen today, though.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the first, and to be honest, probably won't be the last. There'll be a few.
It's now 2-0 within the opening minute. As Dignitas can tell you, that's not enough. You've definitely got to keep working for this. Going straight for net. That's just handed straight over to Snasky. Mouse just trying to up the pace a little bit here. Fnatic will be happy just to kill it off entirely.
Jeez. A little bit skeptical of the shooting yesterday from Snasky and Maestro, and you know, today at least much sharper, much more power on the shots, and really testing Tigray and Alex in front of the net.
So one thing that might work out for Fnatic is that they are a very defensive-heavy team in terms of how they tend to go about their gameplay. Mouse, they love to throw players forward, very much like Complexity. There's a possibility that Mouse could just get themselves caught out on occasions. And this could turn into an execution game. Push to the corner, Maestro can't quite win the challenge. Just yet another great bit of positioning from Fnatic.
Alex also in turn, though, out of the midfield. He's making some good decisions. He's turned off when he's had to and bought a little bit of time for Tigray to get back. It's been very much, you know, apart from the couple opening goals, it's become this midfield battle. How well does the second man handle these clears out of the opposition's half?
Just over the top. He'll be bouncing back out. It's quite a difficult angle to try and find the shot from, but Maus were happy to at least attempt it. See Fnatic, they are already refusing to commit too many forwards.
Become the chess game, you know? Everything's slowed down here for this first one.
It's exactly the perfect situation. That should have been on target. That should have been game over.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, another one too high. Will the third one be good enough? Tigray with the save. That should have been 3-0. Now off the wall. Two players around. Mouse can't do too much.
Oh, strange challenge. Here's the pass. Can he get it?
Snasky. Want to go back to Maestro, and that is a good faked out move from Alex.
Didn't get the boost, though. Drive's going to stall here.
Yeah, the pathing wasn't great. Alex now goes off for Snasky. He's taking him out. Pass
can he get
over, and he can't get it on the target, but it will be Tigray with the follow-up.
Okay.
And that is going to be a goal that might up the pace a little bit for Mouse.
So I thought that drive was going to stall as soon as Alex didn't pick up that midfield boost, but a poor touch from Maestro continued that ball back towards that blue corner, and Tigray just jumped on that opportunity immediately. He said, look, you made a missed touch. I'm going to pressure you, and they forced him into a bad spot, and they got the win.
Alex 161. Just can't. I think he's tried this every game I've seen him so far. That floor pinch.
Why not? Just in case.
Just in case it works out. Maestro off the backboard. Snasky, he can be there for that one. And it got slowed down by the challenge. 2-goal lead re-established.
So a nice aggressive push here. Get them back in front of, and it's just a perfectly placed ball for Maestro off the back wall. There's nothing else there. Tigray and Alex can't go out and challenge him. The touch is too far away, and honestly, it's just Maestro, you know, he's saying, look, my job here's done. I'm going to leave this one for Snasky. Either he puts it in or he doesn't. It was a perfectly placed ball.
Follow up. Alex 161 goes for the double tap.
Oh.
And that is a double commit as well. This should be 4-1. Maestro's first touch not on target. His second touch not on target.
Breakaway goals not in favor today, Shogun.
No, that is the third one that we have now seen not finished off. And now Alex 161 tried to bring it back, but Maestro just covering the lines well.
Snasky having to dodge a demo here.
Pressure currently on from Mouse.
Ooh, there we go.
It's just going to be on target. And finally, Fnatic finding that 3-goal cushion. With a minute left, that could be enough.
Yeah, that's really just Alex and Tigray trying to pressure, keep things locked in, to that blue box, and just a nice clear sneaks through the midfield line, just not able to get that one, and can't really fault Mouse too much for that one. This one kind of just slipped away at the start of the game, and Tigre and Alex just haven't been able to really break through Maestro and Snasky so far. They've gone for a lot of individual plays. There's not been a lot of passing. It's been a lot of, look, I'm going to beat you on a dribble. That's just a missed touch. Bounces around and kept away. Okay. Wasn't sure they were going to get out of that one for free, but, well played.
Maestro is having a great game for someone with 0 goals.
3 assists, 4 saves.
Snasky has been the finisher so far. Will win that challenge in the midfield, and with 25 seconds left, that will be game 1 effectively done and dusted. Can Maestro pick one up for himself? Goes for a double tap. It's over to Snasky again, and
he got it.
Is a good way to get your first goal.
I'm gonna put a star next to that one, just for the heck of it. I want that one to be the assist of the day. Nice
Maestro
pass,
will
Snasky.
contend till the end of time that the defender was probably going to get it.
Nice pass, Snasky.
5 goals to 1. We were doubting Fnatic a little bit coming into this. They seem to be stepping it up when required. The ball does touch the floor. Fnatic 5-1 in our first game.
Yeah, very impressive performance coming in from Fnatic there, and a lot of questions to answer there for Mouse Sports. And to me, it felt like Alex 161 was just kind of negated by the way that Fnatic were playing that one.
Oh, yeah, negated it. It depends on how you look at it. Giving somebody 10 shots on your net, but stopping all of them is definitely a way to negate somebody. Of course, you'd like to limit much more of those chances, but Snasky and Maestro, it really was just, they got a couple of decent challenges on the ball and put a couple chances in the back of the net, and Alex and Tigre, they did what they both do best. They're both very aggressive, try and get things done themselves type of people, and Snasky and Maestro dealt with that pressure pretty well.
Yeah, and once again, we've seen a couple of the games go like this where a team just goes up by 2 goals in the opening minute, and that just changes the complexion of the entire match. Suddenly you've got one team trying to chase and the other team just entirely focused on rotation, ensuring that the fundamentals are correct. And when it comes to Fnatic, that's what they do pretty well. It's just the core of their game. And Mouse just couldn't make that comeback.
Yeah, it was a big ask for Mouse to come back from such a deficit, especially early on like we saw. We have seen it a few times. Some teams like Method, as we saw in that game number 5, did manage to make that comeback, but Fnatic, it was the way that they were just... We talk about controlling the pace in 2v2, and it's something that's so difficult to do, but they, again, seem to control the pace, and although there were a lot of shots coming in from Mouse Sports, none of them with too much venom in them in comparison to the opportunities that we saw for Fnatic.
Yeah, I feel like you could genuinely predict. There was a lot of shots for Alex 161, but you could also feel like you could predict where it was going to go, and there was a lot of pre-jumps from Fnatic. That's because they knew exactly where Alex wanted to put the ball.
Yeah, it wasn't those one-on-ones. You've caught the defense rotating back. It was the one-on-ones and the defenders staring you down like, all right, you're going to try and 1v1 me. Let's go. And it's the you're on even footing 1v1, and Fnatic, both of those players are capable of defending those, and it's all on if they continue that and they're just not able to get those breakaway clean 2-on-1, 1-on-1 tough spot chances. Tough ask for Mouse. I almost called them their old name. Almost got me.
I would have had you, don't worry. I would have buried you. Anyway, no, I'm only joking. Let's talk about the next game then. Mouse Sports obviously needs to change something up a little bit. What would you suggest that they're... is it a case of doing what they're doing better, like we like to say at the moment, or do you think that there is a call for maybe, not so much? It feels at the moment a lot of the pressure is falling on Alex 161 to score these goals. Do you want to see a little bit more from his teammate?
There's definitely a call for maybe some more passing plays.
Yeah.
There's, the way we saw a lot of them from Dignitas, there's a lot of times where there's players in position. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can go for a passing play, and you might have a better shot, especially... As you mentioned, the defensive players from Fnatic, they're in place. Mm-hmm. The only way you can misplace them is to change the shooting angle.
Exactly. It's very much a, you know what, if you want to keep trying to outplay them, but don't try and outplay them with the intent of scoring a goal. Outplay them, beat the defender.
Yeah.
Just put it in a spot for your teammate to do something. Continue, do all your mechanical, brilliant things that I know you're both capable of, but I think if you're trying to score in that situation, you're asking a lot of just yourself, and definitely going to have to utilize the other teammate on offense a little bit more.
Okay, then we'll be keeping a lookout for that from Mousesports in this second game. Of course, it is now Fnatic who are 1 up, I believe, ready for our second game of the series as well. So we'll get into that as soon as we can. But a very solid performance there from Fnatic in the first game. Let's see if they can continue that in our game number 2, which is now ready to get underway.
So Mousesports going to try and look to make a comeback here. Game 1 really got away from them in the opening minutes. Tigray out to Alex 161, and there's Maestro yet again. The shot straight down the middle, and the capitalization from Fnatic. I feel achieves, like, the idea was correct,
exactly,
but the shot was poor.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it. You know, Synth House, they're both those type of players that be like, look, here's our chance to score. It's a good opportunity, and they went for it. I have no problem with that. It was just exactly like you said. The shot was not where it needed to be.
Oh, trust me, they said, "Oh shoot," the moment they did that.
Beaned it.
I don't think anyone says "oh shoot" anymore. If you say "oh shoot," get to us at hashtag
Gee
QOS2.
Willikers!
Alex 161 forces the challenge. Might be going out into a difficult angle. Snasky's in a race against Alex 161, who tries to find a ridiculous angle shot. Always had the odds against him, but was at least going to go for it. Tigray off the backboard, and Maestro's got it covered. This is the problem. Mouse have given up that early lead yet again. A Fnatic can stretch out the gameplay.
Good pressure, though, again, for Mouse and Tigray. They haven't really let Maestro and Snasky out of their own half, controlling the boost quite well.
Feels like they've been happier to just take a couple of extra waves. Maestro.
Oh no!
Okay, that's a no there.
Okay. Now, to be fair, you can understand the thought process. Alex is 100% aware of the fact that Snasky is right on his tail, and he's trying to get this one off the bar. But no.
That was the anti-Dignitas right there. When you don't want to hit the bar, you hit the bar. When you want to hit the bar, what bar?
There's a bar? Unfortunate, though. They find themselves right back in the same position. Can they put one in the back of the net? No, they can't. Maestro slaps that one out to the corner.
Really get the feeling that Mousesports need to pick up one in the next minute. Otherwise, Fnatic will be well and truly settled.
Just to kind of alleviate that pressure, you know. It's surprising to have...
Oh, that's big.
That'll do it.
That's going to allow one goal to get back, despite the demo attempt from Snasky.
There's no real excuse for this one. Just a misread from Maestro. Probably didn't expect that to pop that hard off of that lip a little bit and just went right over his head.
Trying to get past Alex without any challenge. But it does offer hope to Mouse. I was saying that he needs to get one for the next minute. They got it within 10 seconds.
Pretty much, yeah. And again, I feel like they've pressured wonderfully on offense. They've really boxed Snasky and Maestro into their own half for a large portion of the game.
Seems more patient offense compared to what we saw last game, where they were pretty much getting one chance, and then the chance was all gone.
Nice play from Alex.
We go over the top, attempts the demo. Snasky will avoid.
Lazy shot.
Oh, he's just handed that one straight over to Maestro. Passed off to Snasky, won't quite work out.
But it wasn't bad. I feel like
there was an idea there.
Yeah, it felt like Tigray shot that ball just because he knew Alex wasn't going to be there to back him up. He saw him rotate out. Was like, well, I might as well put one on target.
If you are going to do that, the ball needs to be a bit higher. To really buy some decent time for your team.
Chance.
Oh, Tigray backs out.
Didn't feel confident. Honestly, I think it was the right choice. Snasky was on top of it.
Right back out again. I have to agree a little bit. Fnatic have already caught 2 goals just by winning a challenge with absolutely nobody back from Mouse to help them out. Tigray.
Okay.
Playing it slow, wins 1 challenge. Maestro's finally
so
back
close.
and just narrowly avoids being hit. Could bounce all the way back into the goal, but Snasky will have that covered. Look at how patient and calm Fnatic are whenever they defend.
Exact same story from Alex
It almost
and
feels like
Tigray,
it's like you feel like they are one bad challenge away from being scored on.
Yeah.
But they are so comfortable.
It becomes the who messes up first, don't blink contest. Great save from Tigray.
Just scooping the ball out from the net. Drop down, Alex 161, be leaving it for Tigray.
Wonderful clear.
Yeah, it's going to force Alex all the way back on 0 boost as well. It never turned up for him, so it's all down to Tigray, who just launches it again. This is great now for Fnatic. They can put themselves into an offensive position for the first time in quite a while. Snasky on target. Alex161 forced to save, but he's got the boost stolen away. Fnatic probing for that second goal to add to their lead, and any mistake from Mouse will give it over to them. Maestro's already up, and he will win the challenge. He will not get over for a second bit of contact, but Maestro will.
And you know, the funny thing is this actually stems back like 15 seconds for the reason this ball goes into the back of the net. And it was that one missed touch. Tigray passed it to Alex in the corner, and Alex had a poor clear. He didn't get it up the field. He got a weak half touch out into the middle of the pitch. And Snasky and Maestro said, "You've given us the ball." And they turned on it. And they stuck on offense. Exactly. All that pressure built off of one missed touch. And Mao's lost the staring contest.
Well, Fnatic have been clinical so far. The only times that they have been missing opportunities that they should have been scoring has been when they've already been 2 goals up. Save. It's going to be to Tigray. Infield passing option was there and he didn't take it. One-on-one, Alex161 just goes early again, and that's going to be a good enough save, but the follow-up from Tigray. 1 goal left, 26 seconds on the clock.
So they get themselves right back in it. It's a nice save from Maestro. Unfortunately, that bounce did Snasky no favors. Snasky kind of had to pull off, or else he was going to put it into the back of his own net. And you know, again, we've seen that pressure from Mouse. They're willing to send the house. Do they convert here with 26?
I thought they were sending the house before. They're going to sell even more than that now. 26 seconds, and they've got the ball. They are setting themselves up for a monster play. I say that, and they just go for a launch of the ball downfield. Maestro keeping the ball under his own control. 67 boost. Can't get it behind. Tigray needs to keep this one off the ground now.
Nope.
That will not be happening. Fnatic on the verge, and I almost feel bad for saying it aloud, on the verge of a sweep.
That's who would have thought it? Is it possible still? Are we allowed to do this? Come on, Mouse Sports, step it up a little bit. Anyway, an impressive performance there from Fnatic, but I mean, Mouse Sports, they're really struggling, it feels to me, against how Fnatic are playing this at the moment. I don't know why. It just seems like they're coming up against a wall of Fnatic at the moment. They had a few chances towards the end, but it is just the wall of Fnatic at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily struggling. It's just that inability to create a quality scoring chance. Maestro and Snasky haven't double committed on defense, really. They've been able to control at least part of the boost on their own side of the field. Mouse, if that's the one thing that would really help their offensive drive, is trying to deny Maestro and Snasky a bit more boost. But other than that, it's really been Alex and Tigray just slamming on this brick wall that is Maestro and Snasky, and then eventually they drop it.
I'm so curious what one of these matches looks like without an opening 30-second goal from Fnatic, because they live for that 1-goal lead. That's just when they feel the most comfortable. And as soon as it gets given away, they play very much like G2 from the way I'm noticing this, where very comfortable with the lead. They know they don't need any more. In fact, when they've got a 1-goal lead, they're almost trying to beg their opponents to come in and challenge. They've at least got one player out and can try and force their way downfield. So for Mouse, it's all about that first goal. They've got to try and secure it, and more importantly, they've got to get past that first minute without conceding.
Yeah, it's a difficult balance, isn't it, really? If you're going to, you've got to score that first goal as a choice of, do we try and force the game a little bit, but then you leave yourself vulnerable, even more vulnerable.
That was the funny thing. It was like, you saw Alex and Tigray. They went for that goal in the first 10 seconds. It's like, they put that one in, who knows what happens.
A strange battle here going on between these two teams, and obviously Mousesports now had to pull off the reverse sweep. Wouldn't surprise me if they managed to send it to a Game 5 after what we've seen so far this week. But Fnatic have controlled this series pretty confidently so far, and to be honest with you, a 3-0 maybe be a little bit complimentary to them. Mousesports had the opportunity to take a game, but you couldn't argue against it either if that was to be the final result.
It's been the most war of attrition series we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And overall, Fnatic have just won both of the games. I mean, easily could have been Mouse in both of these games. It was just a matter of, do they score the goal? No? All right. That's all it is.
Predictions. Are we going to see a Game 4 here, or do you think that Fnatic close it out here?
I would not be surprised to see Game 4. I think there's too much offensive pressure from Alex and Tigray. They've been on offense too much of this series to not win at least one game.
On the other side, I think Fnatic have just been too solid so far. I can't see them making enough mistakes to allow Mouse to get through.
Okay, then. Well, let's get into our potentially final game of the series, although it wouldn't be a surprise to me if we did see a game of 4 on the horizon. We're on the verge of seeing our first sweep on the broadcast, so let's get into it. Game number 3 is live and underway.
T-Gray, straight from the kickoff, and now the foot
Aha!
has changed. Mouse Sports have got the opening goal.
Let's see what happened here. Clean kickoff. They go for the passive kickoff, and Maestro just gets destroyed on that dribble. Not sure what he was thinking T-Gray's plan was, but definitely made the wrong read.
It's got to feel so bad as well. Even if you do get a hold of that ball on the challenge, if you're Maestro, all of that boost, you pretty much would have finished that play with 34 boost, which is what you were trying to avoid.
Yeah. You went out to get 100, and you end up right where you started.
Snasky goes long. Fnatic find themselves a goal down for the first time this series. Alex 161, good challenge, taking it over the top, and Maestro 20 boost in a dream. They didn't quite land that one right. At least the idea was there. Now Snasky,
great
once
pressure.
again, just happy to allow the challenge to come forward. They know that the next player is coming up. Snasky takes over. Go over the top. Alex 161 can't quite get rid of it properly, and that's 2 players out. Maestro can easily net that one.
You'd hope he put that one in there. It's apparently open nets and people scoring them today has been a rough thing, but Alex just didn't have enough time to recover. Coming off somewhere on the back wall somewhere, and you know, they finally get caught out on defense for once.
So now we're back to 1 goal each. Mouse Sports searching for that goal. That could potentially take us to game number 4. That's a great touch from Maestro, though, to start us off. Oh. Snasky, he's going to go off for T-Gray, and wow. T-Gray can't quite do enough. That 2v1 advantage imposed by Fnatic to its full effect.
I was just thinking, why would you stop yourself from passing this ball off the side wall, Maestro? And it's because Snasky's just like, I'm going to go hit him. And Maestro says, fair enough, I'll shoot the ball.
As long as you two are both on the same wavelength, that 2v1 should always be a goal. And now Fnatic, who have not dropped a lead yet in this series, have got a lead. 2 goals to 1, 3.5 minutes left.
Oh, they ran into each other.
And for the first time, I think Fnatic have actually made a rotational mistake.
Doesn't cost him too much, though. Had time to back off and grab boost, and
they got one of them in defense. It was actually a positive.
And now T-Gray and Alex find themselves in a incredibly familiar position of trying to break down this, you know, at this point it might as well be a steel welded blast reinforced door.
Oh, goes underneath. Snasky is there. Maestro not for the follow-up, and Snasky forced yet again to move forward to try and help out his teammate. Alex also at Maestro. Can really tell that Fnatic are fully aware of each other's situations. Snasky covering twice for Maestro, one time after he missed, another time after he was being bumped around by one of the opponents. And Mouse, they've got to throw something at this goal, but at the same time they need to make sure they don't get caught on the break. Maestro.
Great catch.
Over the top. T-Gray jumps early and is back out to Snasky.
Man.
The pass was just a little bit too high. But that pre-jump was ambitious.
To say the least. That's that experience, though, that you get to see from Maestro there, you know. He's been around at the top level of play for a very long time, and he says that you're going to pre-jump like that, well, I'll just make you look silly.
Both of these guys have been around for ridiculous lengths. Alex back into the middle. 2 players committed, but Snasky will land nice and safe. Might actually be able to follow this one. Alex 161 going to go to the ceiling. It's a straight down, but Maestro once again can cover. There's a lot of attempted clears from Mouse, but there's no follow-up. It's just hit and hopes.
Yeah.
The last one, whilst it was a fancy hit and hope, it was still a hit and hope.
Again, Fnatic run into each other.
Not a mistake we've seen from them too often, but they haven't been punished for it so far.
It's because Alex and T-Gray just haven't had, you know, the same level of boost on each other and felt confident
Yeah.
both pushing forward at the same time to go on offense.
If you want to utilize both players also need to have boost, and it almost feels like one player has got the perfect amount of boost for a player and the other one is just out.
Yep.
And they just keep switching who's in that position.
As even there's a clear, and Alex has to follow up his own touch because Tigre had to take a slight detour.
Back to the middle. It's going to be a miss, and Maestro can clear yet again. 45 seconds left on the clock. Fnatic can finish it off with this. Snaski, that was quite a light touch. Maybe if Alex got to take it, it could have been played quite a bit faster into Fnatic's side of the field. The Mouse Sports trapped in the orange side. They've got to clear away. That's a big bump,
demo.
and that's going to go off the wall. Snaski will not follow up. Or at least he does, but he comes in late. Maestro by himself. Tigre goes all the way out, bounces down, and there's no opportunity for Tigre to go for the follow.
And that was the first time that we've seen Mouse have the one-on-one in a bad spot. Another one now.
Can't win the challenge. Maestro takes it past another. Maestro
Perfect.
darts, dives, and scores. And Fnatic, for the first time of this broadcast week, are going to give us a sweep.
I didn't even remember that those were a thing. I've become conditioned by Game 5 syndrome, and I'm honestly shocked that this one's over as early as it is. But we said it at the beginning of the series, you know, Shogun. They get one.
Well,
Consolation before you take your leave.
well, if it goes like this again, without it even touching the floor, then they will have made the comeback.
Wouldn't that be something?
Actually, that one did hit the floor. That would still not do it. All right, which kickoff have we got? It's down the middle.
Sorry.
Maestro doesn't even hit this.
Let's find out. Oh, they... Okay.
Okay.
They both went for it at the same time, but they keep it up.
I thought Snaski was down the middle side of the field. Otherwise,
That's done.
definitely
Done.
go
Okay.
for the ball. But Fnatic, Frio, and Mouse Sports are out.
Mouse Sports are out, but I mean, I'm looking at Fnatic there. They pulled off the 3-0. It was a tight series, though. 3-0 doesn't justify it for Mouse Sports. And looking at Fnatic there, they're going to have to raise their game from what we've seen from some of these other teams in the losers bracket if they want to make it to those grand finals. Because it was a solid enough performance to get the job done. I don't know if they were to recreate that performance against some of the teams that we have seen already. I still think they're struggling.
Yeah, exactly. But we said it at the beginning of the series, you know. Shogun and I both said, look, it's on Fnatic to find an answer for Tigre and Alex. And they did exactly that. They knew what Tigre and Alex were going to bring to the table, said, look, let's play sound defense. We'll get a couple of breakaway chances, and we'll turn them in.
Yeah, Fnatic definitely seem like a team, both times we've seen them, that seem to play to their opponents quite a lot. They're very flexible in that regard, but it also makes them very vulnerable to a team that is maybe a little bit more clinical than Mouse were. I mean, that needs to be better. That needs to be an infield pass. Just anything else other than what was actually tried.
Anything not the crossbar today.
I think Fnatic will get better depending on who they're up against and if that team is stronger and a bit faster, but they sort of played the game they needed to play there and didn't really need to do too much more.
That's a fair point. Doing enough to win is the Fnatic
We've
motto
both
at the
been
moment.
in education, okay? We know what it's like to do just enough to
That's
pass.
very, very true. To be honest, that is pretty much my life motto. But anyway, Fnatic do make it through to the next round of the elimination bracket. Something we should point out is there were 16 goals during that series. A fairly low scoring one. We only had 3 games in comparison to some of the other games we've seen. And of course, thanks to our partners over at Soylent, that means 160 meals will be donated to the World Food Programme USA. Of course, you can always get involved at home by heading over to wfpusa.org/universal open. Let's have a look at the bracket then. Let's have a brisk bracket update because we have obviously the teams moving on here. You can see Fnatic will be going up against 2 Swedes now who have been on a tear so far in this bracket. They've taken down Team Secret and then they've taken down Dignicats 3-0. And on the other side of things, Inspiration versus Method will be coming up as well. So, I mean, the bracket has been flipped upside down every single way you could possibly imagine it so far. And you're looking at the names that are left in there towards the right-hand side of this bracket. You're comparing it to some of the names that are in there at the start. You have to say it's been a bracket full of surprises.
Yeah, absolutely. There's only one team in the top 4 seeds left, and that is Complexity up there in the winner's bracket. Otherwise, it's been... You know, the coin of truth tells no lies.
That's also true. You might have seen a bracket just randomly in the middle of a game there, by the way. Apologies for that. We didn't predict. The coin of truth might have predicted that Fnatic won 3-0 over Mouse Sports, but it's not a fix, all right? We promise you. We're not smart enough to do that. We've fired the bracket guy. We brought a new one in. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it. I have that kind of power here. But we also want to hear from you guys as well. Thanks for the tweets that have come in already today. Use the hashtag UOS2 to get involved. And don't forget, when you head over to Twitter, just to click that follow button on at Universal Open, should I say, as well, just to make sure you keep abreast of everything that's going on for Season 2 of the Universal Open. But that's going to do it for our game number 2. When we come back, we're obviously going to have 2 more games to bring you. Game number 3 just on the way, just after this.
So you'll be here to help if I need you?
I got you.
What about here?
Yep.
Here?
Yes, Kyle.
And here's Sir Robert from State Farm.
If you invite me.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Yes. Yes.
We're watching the Universal Open together.
And he was in charge of the snacks.
I might have gone a little overboard.
Brisk Dual Force Guava Ginger Limeade, exclusively available at 7-Eleven for a limited time.
And I'll be waiting till you come.
I'm walking through the forest by the lake, searching, trying to find a trace. I'm calling, shouting out your name, calling. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? I'm helpless, and the walls are caving in. Can't breathe now, losing my sanity. I'm calling, shouting out your name, calling. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Your silhouette out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Your silhouette out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Is this really what I
the sun comes up, it's our last goodbye. Won't let go, I don't wanna leave paradise. You make everything feel alright. You bring every piece of me to life. When we're looking eyes, I lose my mind, my mind. Amnesia. Crash like waves playing in the sand. Live life hard, never looking back. Life's too short in the promised land. Promised land. You make everything feel alright. You bring every piece of me to life. When we're looking eyes, I lose my mind, my mind.
And welcome back, guys, to part 3 of the Universal Open Season 2, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. Now it's time for Game 3, as I previously mentioned. Now it's about Inspiration versus the Dignitas Takers Downers, which is what I'm going to call them. There's probably a better term for that, in Team Method. An impressive start from Team Method here, but another challenge now. As we say, they managed to take down Dignitas and knock them out of the tournament. But it all could be for nothing if they don't take this win here.
Yeah, they're up against Inspirations, composed of Ocelon and Petrick. Ocelon played last year in the Rival Series. He was with Lottie Sibadum and Flakes, also under the same name. They've kind of revived that here for this 2v2, so he's taken a bit of a backseat after that. That was the first season of Rival Series. They didn't play, or at least Ocelon didn't play in this second one, so he's taken a bit of a backseat here, but he's back here to play some 2v2. Curious to see how he does. There's not much else beyond that.
Question for you very quickly, Shogun. What were your thoughts on Dignitas Taker Downers? Because I think I could do a lot better.
Actually, I like it because we've got a lot of...
It was kind of naive and like, do you know what I mean?
I feel like we've got a lot of sort of
there was some honesty behind
words,
it.
though, this week.
Yeah.
We've got Grinder and...
Grinder? I thought it was Blender.
A blender, whatever. You put them for the grinder.
Yeah.
Anything like that. I feel like Taker Downers is pretty nice compared to the Dignitas Killers. So
yeah, that's what I was looking
I'm okay
for.
with that.
Like,
I feel like we have to stick to the food motif, you know, like a meat tenderizer. So like
that's fair.
Dignitas tenderizer, you know.
Yeah, okay. Look, I could do better. I'll do better next time. I promise everyone at home. But what are your thoughts on this one?
So we've just seen from Mouse how you can go from taking down one of the best teams in the world one moment to sort of underperforming, and that brings up a very big point about this lower bracket, which is consistency. You can be phenomenal one moment, but you got to keep that going for a lot of series straight. And for these two teams, there is another series to play after this if you want to try and get through. Now, that will be tomorrow, but we've seen what you can do. Can you do it consistently over and over and over again?
I think that's the worry potentially here for Method. We know the type of player that's on this team. They've obviously just pulled off a pretty huge performance there, taking down Dignitas. The worst thing they could do right now is take their foot off the gas and think that that's going to be their hardest competition so far. I mean, yes, if you look at the Siege, you look at the level of competition, yeah, you've done the hardest job. But, as I say, it could be for nothing. If they don't come in with the same fire like they did in that Dignitas series and take it to this team on Inspiration, then they're going to be kicking themselves. This is a huge opportunity for them to make it through this bracket.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, again, I think all of us were like, okay, Dignitas, yes, that's the team that all of us were like, wonderful, they'll go into the LAN. And now that they're gone, and courtesy of Method, you think these guys theoretically the team to beat, and you got to keep that going. Despite being in the loser bracket, it's a long road all the way to the top, and you got to get through Aslan and Petrick here first.
That's very, very true. Now let's talk about Inspiration. What have they got to do in this game to take down the Dignitas knocker outer as
I'm still happy. I'm still happy with it. You keep with that one.
I'm owning it. I don't know. Whatever.
So the person that you might be most familiar with on that team is Oslan, as you mentioned, part of the rival series. He was also one of the European Titans for the 12 Titans tournament. He was there at the live environment. I've seen him try and play like a VR height game.
Yes.
He's not very good at VR height.
I've played that, and that is genuinely terrifying. Like, a little scream came out when I felt it.
He didn't do great about it, but he is a very solid ones player. We've also seen how ridiculously strong ones players can be. There's another side to this, though. Method, this is a huge switch up for them because they go from massive underdogs in the previous series to the favorites coming into this one. That might play around with their heads just a little bit, but at the same time, it is going to be all on Inspiration to try and get that work done because Burrito B, I'm not going to say he can keep going. In fact, I'm going to say he can't. There's no way Burrito B can play at the same level as he just was. But if he's playing anywhere near it,
challenge
that's going to be a
accepted.
huge
I was going to say, if Burrito B sat at home watching this right now, he's going, I'll show you. Show going, no, don't worry about it. I've got it. Like, I've got this one. Don't worry.
I think Burrito B can play well, but nothing can ever beat. I'm not going to say single-handedly, but very much having a huge part to do with beating the world champions.
Okay, well, it looks like we're trying to get into this game as soon as we possibly can. As soon as we can get into it, of course, we will bring it to you. Well, game number 3, we do have one more game to bring you after this as well. Our first 3-0 what were your first thoughts on our first 3-0 sweep? It was a kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it? Like we've been spoiled so far, haven't we? We really have been spoiled with the Rocket League that we've had in the Universal Closed. It's
been like,
European closed qualifiers. Excuse me.
You have to balance the emotional roller coaster of Game 5 with the lazy river ride sometimes, you know. And Fnatic and Mouse that look, this is how we play this game. We're gonna win, and you can all go back to doing whatever the heck you want.
That's true. And now we've got 2 ways to predict things as well. By the way, we have the coin of truth. As you can see here, it's still very much viable. But also over my shoulder, there's something that we've added to the set. Let us know if you can keep an eye out for that one and see exactly what's going on with that. But we'll leave that to you, chat. We know you're observant. We know you've got eagle eyes when you need it. So the teams are joining, gentlemen. Predictions for this one before we get into it.
Gotta stick with Method. They took down Dignitas, so there's no reason without seeing it to say they're gonna lose.
Okay, and what about you, Shuggy?
Yeah, I was way too impressed with Method earlier on to go against them right now.
Yeah, I feel like this one is definitely Method's in Method's hands. I feel like the only way that they could potentially let this one slip is if they beat themselves and don't come in with that same intensity that we saw in our last series from them. But game number 1 is live. Let's get straight into this one. Inspiration taking on Method.
So, Method, the Dignitas Taker Downers. I believe that was the name?
Yes. Or some variant thereof.
It was very close to that. Ossalon can't get that one on target, but Rita B already had that covered. Very fast performance earlier on from Method.
It's also another interesting thing, you can't expect Petrick and Ossalon to be playing at the same speed K-Dop and Violent Panda are, and That's a second adjustment that Rix Ronde and Burrito B are going to have to make in this one.
Ocelon in control of the ball. He tries to trap it the entire way, but now it's Burrito B trying to charge forward for a challenge. Huge demo as well. 2 players out, Ocelon and Burrito B. And Petrick tries to race down,
Great
but
play.
There's going to be a third one for our money.
Good early pressure, though, from Petrick and Ocelon, you know. Boxing in Rix Ronde and Burrito B, not really letting them out of their own half for too long of a time. That's a big miss. And finally, perhaps a brief stint here over on blue side. Just kidding. Literally brief. 2 seconds.
Ocelon can't get it the entire... Every single time Ocelon's been open on net, he's been demoed, and that is twice now. Rix Ronde can't take it the entire way as Ocelon already challenges. And Inspiration having a great start to this so far, putting together a couple of really good chances for themselves, but equally as important, haven't looked like they're going to be shaky on the rotation either.
You know, to be fair, we didn't give them a whole lot of credit coming into this one because, you know...
We haven't seen a whole lot of them.
Exactly, but we have to remember who they beat to get here, you know?
That's the thing. Every single team in this tournament. I feel like a lot of our predictions just come in. Okay, this team was really good and we saw them. We know the other team's really good, but I didn't get a chance to see them yet on broadcast, so just that one.
Inspiration took down No-Brainers and PSG. It's like, it's a quality 2v2 squad, clearly.
Back out. Drop down, Burrito B off the backboard. Looking for a setup, but Ocelon's got it covered. See the Method didn't want to really overstay their welcome. Rix Ronde almost flipped the ball over the top of Ocelon. Follow up from Burrito B. Yet another save. Ocelon has to go and pick up that corner boost, otherwise he was going to be out of the play.
Wow. And he got a perfect bounce up to him as well. Allows him to get over the head of Rix Ronde.
A lot of respect from Method when it comes to Ocelon's control of the ball. Infield pass not available. Tries to go to the far side. I did like that though. There was a second where he just took a look, see whether or not his teammate was there, and then went for the shot.
We pretty much saw that almost exact same goal. They might get beat here though. Rix Ronde gets it tapped over his head. Ocelon's going to finish it off in the first one. It took about 3 minutes to get there, but it's Inspiration on the board first.
Inspiration just took a long clear despite the amount of offensive pressure they had to start the game. There was a transition from their side of the field down to the other one, but both these teams, I gotta say, I've actually quite liked what I've seen so far.
Fairly evenly matched. Surprising to see Burrito B and Rix Ronde be a little bit less effective, but Ocelon and Petrick, they've had brilliant pressure out of the midfield. They've certainly not let Burrito B and Rix Ronde walk all over them.
Petrick would have wished to put that into the top corner. Rushed the shot just a little bit, and that could have pinched into the net. Imagine how that would feel if that one went in. All the work that Inspiration have done to get their first goal. Petrick. Quite early on the challenge.
Oh, they want to pinch.
Method can't quite execute on that pinch. Off the backboard, Rix Ronde. Crucial touch from him, but he is going to require his teammate. Ocelon didn't even move up. Now to the corner. Method just need that one big challenge win if they want to try and open up Inspiration, especially when they've got players back. Petrick, straight down the middle. Rix Ronde over to Burrito B. Looks for Rix Ronde again, but he's not going to be able to find him. And every single shot that we're seeing from Ocelon and Petrick, not necessarily like they're trying to score, they're just trying to waste boost. Very high up balls that are requiring an aerial.
It's kind of the same for both teams though, and it's because neither team has really had a two-man attack on both sides yet. This might be the first chance as Ocelon just picked up the midfield boost, but great tackle, and he had to give respect out of the midfield, but he's got a wide open net. Burrito B pushed off into the great abyss.
Yeah, Petrick played this one so well. Burrito B got to play both offense and defense at the same time. There was so much time he had to put that one into the back of the net and have a 2-goal lead. 44 seconds left. Inspiration look to be taking game number 1 unless Method can have a thunderous end to this game to potentially take us to overtime.
Oh, wow. What a recovery from Ocelon. Slowly floating down and still able to get the car out in front of it just to stop them cutting the lead in half.
Great touch from Ocelon.
2 in a row.
He's got 1 boost. Not do too much more with it, but
Done the demo. He's done getting demoed.
is the perfect place for Ocelon to be. He's wasted 10 seconds off the clock with 0 boost, just trying to take the ball from one end to the other.
Gotta put this in.
Yeah, Rex Ronde, he's put it up high, and it's not going to go in. It will be a save from Ocelon, but the original shot should have been in before Ocelon even had the chance. And that's going to bounce in for a demo goal, own goal sort of thing. Rex Ronde will at least get the credit. Yeah, you're not going to see any other contact from the orange side for the rest of this goal.
Good shot, Patrick. Nailed it.
Well, 2-1 is definitely a lot more of a respectable score. But on set, Ocelon and Petrick, they look really solid.
I think you made a great point. We're quite far into the bracket so far. These guys have beaten some very notable teams to be here. We're always talking about Method because of what they just did in their previous game, but we have to give some huge props and respect to this Inspiration team. They win the first game of this series, and they were on the back foot for a fair bit of it, but they got the result.
Yeah, I mean, Ocelon and Petrick, I felt actually controlled the game pretty convincingly over on the offensive side. Rix Ronde and Burrito B, they boxed into their own half a lot more. It was like that 3 minutes remaining to like 1 minute remaining. Both teams were just taking turns. One man on attack, one man rotating out to get boost. And it was just the longest, most drawn-out game of ping pong ever. And then Ocelon just decided, and Petrick as well, that was a big one to give them insurance. But Ocelon in general, a couple of brilliant challenges that really turned the favor, and that save is there as well. Just, if there's a difference maker, it was Ocelon undoubtedly in that game.
Now,
I mean, sorry, I'll let you go on.
Now, the big thing for me, and a criticism for both teams, is it doesn't really feel like a 2v2 game.
Yeah.
Right now, we're seeing these
teams
teams
1v1v1v1.
Not even a 1v1v1v1, but more 1v2 for long periods of time, and then we'd switch to a 1v2 down the other end of the pitch where someone new has finally got the ball and taking their chance. We need to start seeing these second players get involved a little bit more. Now, whether or not that means, having the first player sort of pass off to them more times,
it's the
or
timing.
be closer on the shot. I don't really know. It's both teams very.
It's the resource management game. It's how aggressively they're trying to push this ball onto offense, and it's just like, all right, once you get control of the ball, take extra half second or so, and be like, look, do you have boost? No, okay, let's not just needlessly push this down to the other end and try and score a goal. Be like, all right, let's do something different. Go up the sidewall, buy extra time. You don't know what's going to happen next, but you can't just keep beating your head against the wall of, like, maybe this one goes in.
Question for you guys. Do you think that might have actually been a good thing for Method to lose that first game of the series?
No.
I'm talking, obviously, statistically, but it's definitely going to wake them up a little bit, isn't it? They still might have been on that high from that Dignitas game. Now they've been brought back down to earth, and now it's going to force them to focus up a little bit, is kind of my point here.
Wake-up call, potentially. I don't think that they really let that win go to their head, so to speak. I think they were kind of just caught off guard by how well Ocelon and Petrick played, because again, we were a little bit unfamiliar with what to expect from Ocelon and Petrick just because we haven't seen them in such a long time. And for them to come out and put on such a strong showing, I think a little bit of a surprise as well for Rix and Burrito B.
Okay, then, well, game number 2, the players are joined, the players are ready. I want to get into this one as soon as we possibly can, because at the moment, Method are 1 down in the series. Inspiration currently up by 1 after taking a close game number 1 2-1. We'll get into it as soon as we can. It looks like we can get into it right now, so let's get into it, gentlemen. It's game number 2.
It's me. Both teams going for a cheat kickoff. Inspiration and Method head into game number 2. Ocelon taking a lot of time, and he's just mind-gamed everybody. Tries to go underneath, and he couldn't 1v2, but Ocelon, I don't think he's really lost a challenge so far.
He's just making him think on defense, and Rix Ronde and Burrito B are biting at everything he throws at him. He hasn't been able to convert too many of them, but having that power over people is an important factor.
Ocelon seems to be in his groove at this sort of slowed down pace. See, once again, he's just taking his time, measuring his opportunity, and then going for it. Method have been happy to take on this sort of game. Rix Ronde plays it to the side, and that is some great backboard use. Just made the goal that little bit bigger for himself.
He did that one. Unfortunate challenge, and Ocelon thinks he's got the speed to beat this one to him. Had to take that 1v1 challenge, though. Just not enough respect for Rix Ronde simply being closer to that ball off the side wall. Decided to take a risky challenge. He was punished for it.
Now Ocelon wins the kickoff. The first time Method have got the lead. Rix Ronde to the corner. He won't get any boost, though. That has been stolen away by Petrick. Who looks to try and take himself down to the other end of the field. Nice early challenge. Rix Ronde, he's found Burrito B, but Burrito B is beat to the ball. Now Ocelon looking to try and convert. And Rix Ronde, you could tell how much he did not want to give Aslan any control over the ball.
Yeah.
Immediately tries to take away at the midfield.
Adjustments Rix Ronde, Burrito B are going to have to make, you know? They've seen 5 minutes of how Aslan and Petric approach the play. They noticed Aslan was the one making all the moves happen. And they've said, look, we're not going to allow that to keep happening. Or at least we're going to try and limit it as much as we can. Poor clear, free goal, and bar. Another one.
Now Petric with the transition. Aslan is up in support. But Rix Ronde will do enough just to take that one over the top of the oncoming player.
And today, Shogun, we've seen the bar be the difference maker, or at least missing a wide open net.
Method play.
Yeah, we've seen missing a wide open net cost a team. And you have to wonder if that might be the case here for Rix and Burrito B. Can't count on a 1-goal lead being enough to get you through. We already know that.
Aslan trying to find some way once again. Puts the ball up high and forces boost out from Rix Ronde as he tries to steal a little bit over in the corner. It's a very basic strategy from Inspiration, but it looks to be working out because this is what it results in. Petric will turn that in.
Both goals in Game 2, wide open chances, risky challenges from both teams. It's basically the same scenario, except furthermore towards the sidewall. The player on defense thinks he's got a little bit more time to work with than he actually does. And it's funny because most of the time I say you have a little bit more time than you think you do on defense, but it's tempered by realizing when you're beat to the ball.
So now we're at 1 goal each. Half the game left to play. Rix Ronde taking out Aslan. And now we've got a 1v1 on the other side. Burrito B couldn't quite get it past Petric. Still a lot of individual plays being attempted. Aslan booms the ball out to Petric for the redirect. That's on target. Forces Burrito B to come in for the save.
Oh, and Aslan's right there to steal the boost and keep it going. I love it. Denies the midfield boost as well.
And this is going to become a big problem. Petric, he can go and steal this other one, but I don't think he quite saw it. I feel like if Petric got that, that was going to be another goal for Inspiration. Would have been pretty much next to nothing on the side of Method.
Doing a brilliant job managing the resources on the field, though. Haven't generated, you know, the most dangerous of chances, but they're making it hard for Rix Ronde and Burrito B to string anything together.
You don't have to create the best of chances if your opponents can't get anywhere. Rix Ronde looks for an infield, but Burrito B is already on his way back. And over the top, that is going to be yet another one. Inspiration with the lead yet again.
And you know, if you're watching this from Burrito B's standpoint, he's seeing that weird little hesitation at first, thinks he has time to turn around, and as soon as he turns around to go challenge that ball, it's already too late. Petric has already recovered off of that little chip taken out of him and just short hops him. Brilliant dribble. Perfect recovery as well.
Method have got control of the ball straight from the kickoff. Got to make a comeback yet again. They weren't able to do it last game. If they don't, then they will give over 3 match points to Inspiration. As Aslan has got it over the top. He's picked up boost as well. Goes straight for the net. Maybe a little bit more time to work with. Another bump, and there's Burrito B required yet again. This game is now suddenly all Inspiration.
Whoa.
That should have been dealt with so much better by Petric. Aslan tries to keep control of the field. That midfield currently belongs to Inspiration, but for how much longer? What a touch from Petric. That looked like such a potential for an own goal. But another bump. That should be it. It's not on target. Rix Ronde. He's got to stop finding the net.
A destructive game number 2 for the mindset of Method if they don't equalize.
Oh, that's going to go in, and that is crucial.
You needed that one. No excuse to not put this one in the back of the net. Clean one-on-one chance. Aslan is locked in to trying to play the defense. To be fair, he made that challenge real close. He saw that first touch from Burrito B. You know, he's a 12 Titans for a reason. He knows when he can go for a challenge. Just didn't quite get there that time.
So both goals number 3 and 4 coming from challenges that were just slightly undercalculated. So we head into the final 10 seconds of the game. Overtime might be where we're going, but Aslan's got to make contact. He does, and he's got it over to the corner. That should be safe. And he does want overtime. Didn't want to even try to go for a carry.
And if you're Method, you had better win this game.
Oh, they won this game. One game each. Method, straight from the kickoff. They have challenged every single one of these. I feel like there was a little bit of a cheeky plan being hatched from Inspiration. You actually saw Petric on the far left-hand side. It looked like that's where they were going to try and push the ball, but it does not work. And on set, we've got one game each.
We do, one game each, and I think Achieves was going to headbutt the table if Method didn't manage to take that game in the end. Some frustration coming in from your part, because Method, they had the opportunity to put that one away.
Oh, absolutely. It was a needlessly stress-inducing game from the Method perspective. 2 wide-open nets, and you're missing chances like those, you're asking to get punished. And very fortunate that Ocelon and Petric didn't get a few more chances over on offense to put in the back.
Just going to look at some of these replays, but I have to agree with you. If that is a game that Method lose, they lose the entire series.
Absolutely.
They would not have had a comeback. But here's the important thing. They have got the win. They didn't have a stress-inducing overtime. And to be honest, now because of it, they're the team that look the stronger. They're the team that look like they have a few more options. And we actually saw it last game as well when we saw them play against Dignitas, where game 1, they didn't look like they quite knew what Dignitas were going for. You know, they kind of let Dignitas clear a little bit too easily. Some of the passing plays for Dignitas were sort of unchallenged, but from game 2 onwards, you slowly saw Method start to recognize what their opponents were trying to go for, and I think we're starting to see the first few shades of that happening here.
Okay, so obviously Method starting to work things out for themselves a little bit. On the side of Inspiration, a little bit of a rough game, which they almost managed to steal away. What have they got to look to do in this second game? Because it felt like they were coming under a bit of a Method barrage in that second game.
A little bit, and it's kind of interesting because, you know, again, it feels like Ocelon has created plenty of brilliant goal-scoring opportunities, and my pages don't want to stay open, but I like Ocelon's approach to the ball. He has definitely made Method think real hard about what they're going to do, and having a player with that kind of potential is a very powerful thing. The question is Petric going to be there to follow it up, or are Method going to break down on defense, double commit, get a little bit antsy? Again, it becomes kind of like that Fnatic mouse game. It's the staring contest of don't blink or you're going to lose. And it's the battle of who makes the bigger mistake. Because both teams made a bunch of real small mistakes, I feel like. It's just who messes up harder, I suppose.
It was surprising to see from Method side of things, considering that they were so efficient against Dignitas, especially on their rotations on defense. I mean, do you think it's a case of them maybe taking their eye off the ball in that first game? Now it's kind of like, okay, all right, we're in for a game here, and we've got to tighten things up a little bit.
I just don't think they're quite used to having this much offense compared to last time.
That's a good point, yeah.
You know, previously they were forced to try and make do with a few opportunities, but getting a little bit too much right now. It feels like a weird complaint to have, but just haven't.
We're in command of the game too much.
We're taking too many shots, but when Dignitas were moving forward, they moved both players forward, and they got a lot of 2v1s back in the net for our boys over on Method. But this time around, they're dealing with a 2-man defense that is dealing with them very well, and the shots that they are getting have not quite been on target. On the other side, and we did mention Petric, I want to see Petric sort of be up there as an infield option. They don't have to take it, but it forces the defender to look at them.
Here we go then. Game number 3 is underway. A chance for 2 match points for whoever manages to take this one away. Is it going to be Inspiration, or will it be Method once again?
And almost after losing the last game from the kickoff, Method looking for a goal to start us off. It has hit the left of the post, it's hit the right of the post, it's hit above the goal, but it's gone anywhere but in.
Tragedy. Would have loved to start that one off. And
don't say the word tragedy and finish the sentence there, because I will start singing.
I just got that. Okay.
Ocelon has a peak on my voice that I simply cannot reach. Petric by himself, not the best touch, and Rix Ronde wants to take advantage, and he scored from it. Petric will want that back.
Yeah, nothing to say here, just a poor clear. Petric needs to get this one at least out towards the midfield line, and sets it up right on his goal, and Rix Ronde is waiting in the midfield. The best part, didn't even waste any time going to grab boost or something. He's like, wait a minute, what if he messes up this clear? Aha! And he's done missing goals. He had enough of that last game.
I think it was just because it was such a slow ball. If you want a decent half volley, there's got to be some pace on the ball coming towards you. There's absolutely none that time around. Now Method, a goal up. Ocelon has got ball. He's got 40 boost. And he's looking to do absolute havoc with it. And he's done exactly that. Petric already around. Look to try and make up for the previous miss. Now Ocelon.
Oh, nice play.
Couldn't quite hit Rix Ronde well enough, who avoids narrowly the bump attempts.
It was a brilliant recovery from Rix. Had to dodge the demo and then quickly wheel around and shut down that dribble out of the corner. Excellent defending.
And see why stack defense just doesn't work anymore. Players are consistently having to look out for another player who is trying to just take them out of the game. Good challenge. Ocelon just going to shadow this ball on its way back. Will be beat by Rix Ronde, and that's going to be in a position for Burrito B to try and take control of. Just took an early shot.
Petrick getting a little bit cheeky there. Rix Ronde thinking he was going to go straight for a dribble, and Petrick's like, I've got time to grab boost.
Always go for the shiny thing.
Every time.
Ocelon.
2-on-1.
1-on-1. Petrick's going to try and come forward. He's actually become a non-factor, and an goal will be narrowly avoided. That was a whole lot of stuff that happened on your screen.
Rix Ronde rotating back on the same side of this ball, and they get the transition down to the other side. It's into the back of the net. Rix Ronde take the arrow fired at them by their own person and decide to spin around and throw it right at Inspiration.
I think that was the end of Kung Fu Panda 2 we just watched.
My goodness.
Sort of redirecting the cannonball back towards the ship. Ocelon. We'll be waiting. It's Petrick now on the move. Ocelon also wanted to bump, and Burrito B forced to jump early. Continuous bumps, but Ocelon's still around. He's going to give one straight back to Rix Ronde.
Tough shot there for Petrick, but it was a pretty decent chance to the far post. I think he's going to want that one back.
It's the second time that has been said for Petrick. Just struggling during those key moments. In the midfield, he seems to have been fine. Burrito B can follow this up, but he's not getting any of that boost. And Ocelon's going to look to try and close in on a goal that could put Inspiration back in the game. Oh, Ocelon's actually been bumped, and if they can hit this well enough, it could be going in. The follow-up from Burrito B will not be there, but they've stolen a little bit of boost. Ocelon just pushes forward. Method can now control the midfield. Rix Ronde with control. Against Ocelon, who reads that one very well, but at the same time, it was a pretty suboptimal 1v1 play.
I did like the patience, though, from Rix Ronde, you know? He saw the defender waiting. He said, "Low, right, this straight-up dribble's not going to work. Let's try and throw in a few mind games there," as Petrick gets a pass back to his own corner, and Ocelon in command.
Early challenge from Rix Ronde. Method starting to seem more boastful with every single second. Challenging more and more. Trying to predict the gameplay.
A lot of space
underneath, and Ocelon's now required to take control. Early chance from Rix Ronde, and Ocelon will be thankful that he didn't commit to try and beat Rix Ronde, otherwise he would not have been back to get that save. Miss. Off the backboard, Petrick looks to follow. Don't really do too much more than give it back over to Burrito B.
Ooh. Burrito B. You know, if there's one thing Method in general have done, it has been being on top of these plays from Ocelon and Petrick. They have been nowhere near as effective as setting up quality goal-scoring chances as they were in the first two games.
Oh, tried to find a redirect. 20 seconds left, though. Method. Dominant so far, but that was...
It's not going to matter. He's on the back wall. It's okay.
That was a little bit scary. Could have been much worse. Thankfully, Rix Ronde was able to recover quick enough. Now, Burrito B wants to find that third, and he is going to do exactly that. Burrito B, what a goal that was. And he's going to get a brace.
Takes a nice soft touch to put this one in off the corner. Got a little bit fortunate that that midfield boost spawned as he drove over it, but nice little lean back, find the angle into the top right corner, and Ocelon and Petrick going to have to come back and try and battle for 2 wins in a row.
Absolutely will. Game one definitely went in their favor, but ever since then, it just seems like Method has figured them out just a tiny bit. As Ocelon will pick up 1 goal.
Feels good to at least get 1 for them at least. Petrick with a great touch off the back wall. And it only really goes in, I feel like, because it's a kickoff and Rix just doesn't have the boost to get up and get a piece of that ball. But either way, you'll take what you can get for Ocelon and Petrick and at least not get shut out.
We'll be coming towards the end of this one. Maybe 1 more hit for Method. Can they do it? Off the backboard, Burrito B will not be there for the follow-up shot. So 2-1 for Method. And they're one step closer to tomorrow's final game.
Yeah, they'll be very happy if they can close this out, I think, in this next game. They've been given some real scares there, but they really have started to grow into this series again now. Controlled the game pretty nicely, in my opinion there. A strong performance there from Method.
Agreed, yeah. And it's, you, Shogun, kind of hinted at it after that first game. You know, they started making those slight little adjustments, and it's just slowly squeezing the space down that they've been allowing Ocelot and Petric. It's not like they've instantly figured out how they do it, but there's a lot more pressure on Ocelot and Petric out of the midfield, and especially in their own half. And Burrito B and Rix Ronde have just slowly pressed in on them and made it very difficult for them to get anything started.
Yeah, ever since game... I mean, game 1 was a very neutral game from both teams. But every single game we're seeing slight improvements from Method, and you saw it in this game where that slight improvements ended up becoming a huge difference between the two teams. It's now all up to Inspiration because something's got to change. Method seem to have their number.
Yeah, the question is now, you've seen Method obviously adapt to what's been in front of them, what's been presented to them by Inspiration, but to send this to a Game 5, now it's the shoe's on the other foot. Inspiration have got to turn this one around, and they've got to try and work out what Method are doing and a way to counteract that.
It's kind of crazy because, you know, they've tried the whole dribble, make the first guy miss, and Ocelot's done an okay job of that, but most of that has been occurring over on the offensive side of things. They haven't really had too much success in the dribble aspect out of their own half, and that's just because, again, Rix and Burrito be out of the midfield. They've got great timing. The spacing's been done quite excellent. And they've been right on top of a lot of these clearing chances. So if you're Ocelot and Petric, you're thinking, man, how do we clear this ball? And actually, I think Bluey gave a pretty good example of that. You know, they like the air dribbles. Yeah, they like the air dribbles. Air the ball out. You might lose possession, but at least you're not going to get boxed in on your own half. You'll have time to grab boost, and you reset it into a neutral game.
Okay, so predictions for this. Do you think that this is closed out right now by Method? You think they're going to see this one through and see themselves into tomorrow? A smile on their faces?
The analyst side of me sort of looks towards what we've seen so far, and it's just getting Method further and further ahead. So I kind of have to go for Method, but the fan within me says Game 5 has to come. So I'm going to go Method.
Method, okay. Achieves.
Yeah, Method.
Okay, then. Well, it looks like the teams are joining. Of course, we want to hear from you guys. Use the hashtag UOS2 to give us your predictions for this game number 4. If you think the Method are going to close this one out right now, or if you think that Inspiration are going to manage to send this to a Game 5. Let's get into our game number 4 then, and let's find out for ourselves.
There's been a couple of early goals so far in this series. Seem to have really set the tone for the matches that we have seen. And once again, the attempted play out automatically covered by Method, as they look to try and lock down this half of the field pretty early, but Ocelot with a big clear looks to try and follow up himself, but Rix Ronde just turns around. Takes it over again, and this might be a 2v1 if Ocelot is back in time. Instead, looks to try and take it by himself.
The resource management going to be very important here for Petric and Ocelot as this game gets started. You have no boost, can't do anything regardless of how quickly you get out of your own half.
You can see one on the far left-hand corner and the far right. Those are going to be crucial to be held onto by Method. Rix Ronde got the 1v1, flicks it up. There's the follow from Burrito B off the crossbar and down. And now, slowly, Petric will clear. That was the chance.
Another one for Rix and Burrito B. Open the door in the best way possible.
I feel like they've, after beating Dignitas, consumed their powers, but not the right part of Dignitas's powers.
You know, it's like being in, you know, Sonic. The shadow gems are gone. They're used up.
Burrito B can follow this one up with the tap down, and Ocelot saw it coming. There's going to be no follow-up from Rix Ronde as Petric wanted to flick it over the top. Couldn't quite do it. 90 seconds down in this game. First goal still up for grabs as Ocelot tries for the tap. It's just off target. End-to-end gameplay so far to start us off. Petric launches downfield. Burrito B will cover that one. Actually, he's missed it, and Ocelot forward. Petric with a rebound shot, and Burrito B, both members of Method, be there for the saves. It was a great chance, but I feel like there's criticisms we have on the shot because both were right down the middle.
Right down the gut. It's Rix Ronde and Burrito. Well, especially Rix Ronde. He just pre-jumped and said, please hit it into me, and they obliged. But the second save, a great stop from Burrito B, and Ocelot and Petric going to be upset they didn't finish that one.
Ocelot's taking it past one player. Almost tried to squeeze it past Burrito B. Petric, I don't know what's happening. with that one, to be completely honest.
Shogun.
He improvised. It looked like he maybe thought that he had a backflip for longer than the time of it is allowed, and that's just a pretty simple goal to give up.
I'm very familiar with Petrik's scenario of, I have no boost, I'm trying to make something happen, and they're not there to challenge, and what do I do? And okay, it's down on the other side.
So Method with the lead. 1 goal up. They just need this game if they are to head through to tomorrow's qualifying match. I believe they are on the lower side of the bracket compared to the 2. So that means that they could potentially be taking on... who is in the other side? It's too crazy right now regarding the brackets. Burrito B has control. Petric, very heavy with his first touch. Gives it over to Rix Ronde.
Nice shot.
That will be dropping straight in. 2-0 to Method. And they have got every way of seeing themselves through to tomorrow's qualifier.
And that is a beautiful touch from Burrito B. Getting out in front of it, just killing it right in the middle of the box. And Ocelon and Petric have to drive back into the net and worry about the redirect. And there's no time to turn around and try and get out in front of that one. Brilliant touch from Burrito B.
See, where's my bracket on the screen whenever I can't figure out where we are? There's going to be a follow chance off the post twice.
The winner of this game, though, tomorrow, definitely in for a tough match. They'll be playing the winner of No Names or Class on Grass. Or the loser, excuse me. It's Rix Ronde finds the back of the net. 3-0, and already in danger, Ocelon and Petric. Not a lot of time left, 93 seconds. It's a lot to ask anybody.
Just sort of seems like the prophecy is coming true when it comes to Method. Better and better as every single game goes past. And you say it's going to be a difficult game no matter who they play against. That's the same thing you could say for either side.
Yeah.
There is none of those top 4 teams that you would want to play against, as Inspiration have got 1 back. Well, every comeback starts somewhere.
It does start with the first goal, and Ocelon, that's a rare win for the Octane gym, you know. I've never seen an Octane just push through another car ever, Shogun. Ever.
Never happens. Quite frankly, I'm not too sure what people pick the Octane for. I always thought they just didn't quite know what the garage was, and they just stuck with the first car that ever came in. Petric.
Wow.
Gonna force a move out from Rix Ronde, but he does cover. Off the backboard again. Ocelon tried to go for something. Petric has got Ocelon over in help. Ooh. Might bounce out to a shooting position, but just landed slightly in front of it.
Not a big fan of the spread of Rix Ronde and Burrito B at the moment. At least in the midfield, they're getting tied up real close to each other and sometimes don't have a particularly good spread, leaving a lot of space for Ocelon and Petric to operate if they get the chance to.
Oh, that's a big challenge win. Ocelon.
Nice play.
Take control of it by himself.
Bought extra time for Petric to get set too.
Problem is, they don't have that much extra time. 30 seconds left on the clock. Burrito B trying to find a wonder angle. But now Ocelon's got it on his hood. This is not what you want to be, but Rix Ronde timed it so well. Avoids both bump and flick attempt.
And Petric definitely trying to get involved, you know, hit a man out of the way, but Ocelon needs somebody to pass to. Got to start using that field horizontally as well. No time left, though, for that. Just push.
Burrito B inviting Ocelon to move forward, which he did not do. And that will be the series for Method. They are heading through to take on one of the losers from tomorrow's upper bracket games. And they have done it.
They stay alive.
They've done it pretty convincingly as well.
They have. They have been pretty convincing in that series. Exactly what they needed to do. They got through the
blender.
The blender. They're still in the blender. Like, don't forget that.
They're either whoever
they've just kind of got their heads above the liquid that's in there at the moment, but they're definitely breathing well. But as you say, gentlemen, Method a very well deserved, however hard fought victory, as we would expect. Every single team so far in Europe has been putting up one hell of a battle in every single match we've had so far. But again, just rising above their opponents.
Yeah, Ocelon, you know, all series long tried to make some stuff happen. Great dribbles overall, but you know, eventually Rix Ronde and Burrito B picked up on it. Petric tried to get involved in that later stage of game number 4, but at that point it was already too late. It's just too much to ask. They were down by too much, and it got out of hand a little too quickly.
Yeah, Method just very clinical with their chances. We saw a variety of different goals coming out from Method, whilst when it came from Inspiration, you sort of knew what you were getting. And if we knew it was coming, Method definitely knew it was coming, and you definitely saw Inspiration just got less chances because they spent a lot less time over in the orange side of the field.
Okay, well, one thing we need to point out, as always, our 16 goals was scored during that series. So thanks to our partners over at Soylent. That's 160 extra meals going to the World Food Programme USA. If you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. So that was 16 goals, 160 meals being contributed after that series. So fantastic stuff there once again, gentlemen. Inspiration needs to give those guys a shout out, though. I mean, they put up a great battle. They took some scalps along the way. PSG probably being the most notable of that, but unfortunately, I mean, you put them in any other of the regions that we've had so far, and you're looking at that team and you're saying potential qualifiers for at least a regional event. But unfortunately, you were born in Europe. It's as simple as that. So let's give you a brisk bracket update and let's see how that changes everything. We're starting to get towards the end of everything now for Europe. You can see Method move on, and they will face, I believe, the loser of No Names and Class on Grass. But we've got one more game to bring to you today. And it is one team that have been absolutely we haven't seen them yet on stream, but they have taken some names so far in this lower bracket.
Team Secret and Dignicats, the two most notable. So and a 5-game series versus Dignitas up there in the winner bracket. Two Swedes. I don't know what to expect at this point, you know.
Sorry, that was one for the wrestling fans out there. Apologies that nobody actually saw what happened, but we'll come back in vision, and I'm happy to embarrass myself. I went too sweet. There we go. Anyway, but it's fine. We'll do it again. Forget about that. Just delete that.
I appreciate you.
Are we live? I think this is live. Oh no, I forgot. It's all a fix. Anyway, let's. If you want to get involved, use the hashtag UOS2. Let us know your thoughts on what that series. If it was entertaining for you, if you enjoyed that one, if you think Method are going to be one of the teams that qualify and get through to those grand finals. Don't forget to follow us at Universal Open as well to keep in touch with all the information for Season 2 of the Universal Open. Now, let's go for one more quick break, gentlemen. Let's have one more. Prepare ourselves for our final game of the day. I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be a good one. One of the teams we haven't seen so far in Two Swedes. I'll put my teeth in.
I agree.
Did you get my teeth?
I agree.
Someone stole them. Anyway, we're going to go for a very quick break. It's been a long day. I'm sorry, everybody. We'll get back and we'll bring you our game number 4.
So, State Farm will be here to help protect our home.
Of course.
What about here?
Yep.
Here? Here?
Feels a little awkward.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
We're watching the Universal Open together.
And he was in charge of the snacks.
I might have gone a little overboard.
Brisk Dual Force Guava Ginger Limeade, exclusively available at 7-Eleven for a limited time.
And welcome back, everybody, to Season 2 of the Universal Open, presented by Brisk and 7-Eleven. And it's time for the final part of the show today and our final game of the show. We've had more upsets today. We've had Dignitas falling out of the tournament. It's time for our last game now, and it's going to be two Swedes who've been making an impressive run through our lower bracket, taking on Fnatic. Now, gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about this one. Our final game of the day today has, again, sprung some surprises. Only one Game 5 today in comparison to yesterday, but two Swedes. Let's start with those guys. Achieves. They've made an impressive run through this bracket.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've took down a 5-game series with Dignitas to start off the day. They didn't come out on top, but they've taken down a couple of really strong opponents. I'm sitting here trying to find
Team
everything.
Secret and Dignicats.
Thank you. See, Shogun's on his A game, and I have the bracket in front of me, and he beat me to it.
In that case, Shogun.
Yeah. But no, they've done great. And to be honest, since I don't play in Europe, I know nothing about them. So guilty as charged. I tried. I went and looked. I don't know. It's Liard and Vortex, though.
What can you tell us about two Swedes?
Two Swedes? I don't know. I think I'm about 200 in-game rating off being able to play against them. They're sort of a team that have yet
You managed to get it in, didn't you?
What?
Your rank.
What, that I'm really bad?
No, that's fine. Carry on.
No,
it's fine. Go
on. They're definitely a team that is obviously around, but I don't know what to expect them because we haven't seen them in anything competitive so far. Maybe some ESLs under their belts, but nothing really beyond that. They've definitely caught us by surprise. Everyone they've faced in the bracket.
Yes.
See, all right, you caught us, two Swedes. We were expecting you to be knocked out by now. You're the 16th seed, and you're one of the 7 people remaining.
That's the incredible bit.
Well
is the
done.
15th and the 16th seed made it to this point. Inspiration and two Swedes all made it here. Ridiculous from Europe. I've sort of played it up before, but the way I used to always play up European depth is that, teams 8 through to about 20 are all usually pretty good. I didn't expect it to be for 2s as well, though. I didn't expect it to maybe go even deeper than that, and for players that, I consider myself pretty proud on how much scouting I do regarding upcoming European talent, and I'm caught, so
guilty
two
as
Swedes.
charged.
Two Swedes.
You don't let that one go, are you?
No, everyone in the chat, I don't know how. If you can do that, I don't know. Just do it. Anyway, let's talk about Fnatic, though, because they've had an equally impressive run. Haven't shown their full potential so far, I don't believe, but they've done enough to win their games, which is obviously the most important thing here.
Yeah, very much the Kronovi Rizzo, the level-headed, let's sit back, see if we get an opportunity. If we do, we'll take advantage of it, and it's been the way to win for these guys. And since we don't know what two Swedes can do, not sure what we're going to see. It's Carl G and Vortex. Go beat him, I guess.
It's exciting, though. As you say, it's exciting to see what's been effective for these guys, how it's made them so unpredictable for the bracket so far as how far they've got and some of the teams they've taken down as well. You've got to remember this two Swedes team, they just took down PSG as well. So, that was the other side of the bracket. Apologies. My bad. But they've taken down some impressive names along the way, and there's a reason. Dignicats, sorry. There's a reason that they're here, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table here because it is an unknown quantity for us all.
Yeah, and they took down Dignicats in a great way as well. 3-0.
We're both really struggling with this. We're both like, it's Dignicatas.
I know, right?
Or Dignitas.
They beat Turbo and Rimco 3-0, and
that's not an easy feat.
I love that they sat down against Turbo and just went, yeah, you're not the Swedish player for this tournament. We will represent Sweden today.
Swedes.
It's actually pretty impressive. When we look at
you're all over that one.
The regions or the countries right now that are producing top-level Rocket League players, it's actually very much started to change over recent times. I mean, Scotland used to be pretty much how we expected to be the best producer of Rocket League players, at least for Europe.
Now, there's a lot of French players.
There's a lot. I think France is now very much number one for us, but also Sweden.
Yeah,
really stepping up and producing some good players.
All right, then. Well, it looks like the players have finally managed to join into the lobby, so we will get game number one underway as soon as we possibly can. Let us know your predictions for this as well. Use the hashtag UOS2 to let us know who you think is going to be the final team to make it through to the final day. Oh, it's a sad moment, is it? The final day of the closed qualifiers for the Universal Open, which will be broadcasting here from London. But predictions from you, gentlemen, very quickly.
Gotta pick Fnatic. There's no data for the other team, so how can I bet against it?
Fnatic.
I'm going to go...
No. I'm looking at you right now, and I saw that look in your eye.
I'm going terrified mode. I'm going two Swedes.
You're going... Yes, that's what I thought you were going to say. That's why I asked you. That glint, as soon as you said Fnatic, I just saw Shogo go... Two Swedes. Okay, well, you know
Chaotic
me.
neutral Shogun.
It looks like one of the players is actually just going to take a little bit of time before we can get into this one. So I don't know where to go. I'm very much on the fence where to go with my prediction for this one. But there's a part of me that just thinks two Swedes are taking it, man. I just think, I don't know why. Game 5, who knows?
You know, you've been all over this.
It feels
I've
like
been their marketing team, basically.
every single week, we've managed to have one team that has just completely shocked us. We've even got it this week.
Well, here we go then. Game number 1's about to get underway. It's our final game of the day. Two Swedes taking on Fnatic.
So Carl G taking the ball to start us off. Fnatic caught so many early goals in their previous series. They'll be looking to do the exact same yet again here. Carl G. Right, so Vortex is actually a player I'm somewhat familiar with. I've come up against him a few times, but I've got nothing else other than that.
I played that guy.
As soon as I saw the ridiculous capitalization, it suddenly clicked for me a little bit. But Carl G, I've got nothing on.
Yeah, there was a Vortex in CRL.
He's definitely not the same one.
Yes, that is the North American Vortex.
Oh, tries to be a little bit sneaky. Maestro with the challenge. Will be dropping down. And once again, Maestro's finding the angles and gonna make them pay.
Yeah, Maestro definitely clinical in that first series whenever they got a couple of chances. Great pinch here from Snasky, though, straight up. Asks a lot from Vortex, says you're gonna have to make a perfect read if you want to get this. If there's one thing the pros always have, it is blazing fast reads.
Maestro wins the challenge, but gives the ball over to Vortex. And usually for some of these players that we've been less familiar with, they come in and there's usually a title there for us to follow up with, but nothing quite like that on two Swedes, and Fnatic really taking the fight to them.
Yeah, Carl G a little bit late to the challenge. Vortex also caught off guard by the hard cut from Maestro. A quick recovery on the lip in the corner, and just a nice dish out to the top of the box, and a nice solid finish from Snasky.
Maestro just tapping it over. Keep this ball being followed, but Carl G has stole the ball from him, or at least the boost. And he's going to follow it up. Nice simple play there, but two Swedes are back in the game.
What happened here? Maestro in charge, defending over the top of him, and I think Snasky, he had the boost. He had all the time in the world to get back. I think he just thought Maestro was going to hit that ball, and when he didn't, Snasky just wasn't in position to make a play on it.
Good challenge to start us off. Vortex can't quite get to the ball beforehand, but he does get the boost. Still got his hood. Can't go any further. Defense of Fnatic has been previously very difficult to try and open up. Back out. Carl G had a passing option. That's very wasteful just to hand that straight over to Maestro. Two Swedes going to need to really make the most of their chances. Maestro forcing the challenge, goes underneath. And it's got to be said, Maestro has just been on point with his chances today.
A great first touch there. Carl G a little bit hesitant in the midfield to really drive up and challenge. And Vortex, he's not positioned into the net. He doesn't have any momentum behind him except sideways. And Maestro, all that weight behind the middle of the ball, just drives it right through him.
Carl G can't get past Maestro on the kickoff. That is such a cutting angle. Snasky with the follow-up. It's going to go long. Fnatic still very aggressive in this game.
Maestro just took a cut to grab the midfield boost when it hadn't spawned. And it came back at the perfect time to allow him to make that defensive play.
No boost in that corner, though. Carl G will have a chance to try and set something up. Vortex can't get it above Snasky.
2-on-1. Not a fan of that touch from Carl G. Had all the space in the world on the pitch. Should have went into the dribble.
Back out. Snasky puts that straight over to Carl G, and now Maestro with the clear. Controlled that a little bit better. There might be a better chance for a break. With a 2-goal lead, Fnatic seeming perfectly fine. Double tap from Snasky, almost there. Vortex keeping it away. That 3-goal lead could very well spell the end of this game. At least one is 2. Two Swedes just need a decent run of play to get it back into their favor. Carl G gets there in time, but there is Snasky, can't do anything else. And Vortex has brought this down to a 1-goal game.
That was a great stop by Snasky here on this first one. The second save even better. But Maestro just lost out on the boost battle, and Vortex, honestly, not even sure how he got that ball behind Maestro. Thought the angle was great. But sometimes, you know, you put in the perfect touch on the ball.
Vortex. Two Swedes have been very good off the kickoff, at least getting the first player to challenge. Just haven't found a way past Fnatic, but that might be a good way of them just picking up a few easier goals for themselves. Maestro putting the ball up high. No follow. Instead, just takes it under his own control and pushes it into the corner. Carl G, he's got no boost around here to work with.
While this is a 1-goal game, it feels like Vortex and Carl G, they feel that, you know, pressure of pace that a lot of top-level players can bring into a match. Because it feels like they're expecting Snasky and Maestro to be on top of literally everything they try and do, and it almost feels like they're rushing a couple of touches just because they're expecting that.
Certainly could be the case. Vortex, bring it back to a tie game, but it is saved. Snasky doesn't look comfortable with the ball. Gonna require Maestro to help him out for the time being. And that's
Great
a player
demo.
out. We are gonna have a 3-all game. Two Swedes have made the comeback.
That was on Vortex's camera when he put that one in too. He's just like, all right, don't mess this up. He let it roll all the way in front. All right, there we go.
I'm a fan.
Clinical
Listen,
Shogun.
I would have taken another touch just to set it up if I was him. You can never be too safe. So now, 3 goals each. Just need to find that one more goal to start the alarm bells ringing. Remember, they have taken down Team Secret and Dignicats. That is the roster of Turbo Pulsar and Remco.
That is a great point. I suppose they're already familiar with pace, just from Remco and Turbo's game.
I mean, it's a starter play that you would consider to be very similar to Fnatic. Heavy challenge-based, heavy on the rotation.
Yeah.
Very adverse to making mistakes. Going along, this is going to be the final question asked of Vortex. I think he did well enough with it, just wanted to keep the ball out from this side of the field. Now, one more chance, Carl G.
He's not going to be able to do much, but just the fact that he was able to weasel that chance out at all kind of surprises me. Maestro giving up the ball in the midfield. Great fake from Carl G. And
another shot. Like, these kickoffs are usually going over to two Swedes.
You can see the threat in how Vortex and Carl G have gotten here, but do they hang on over the top? And a good stop from Vortex.
Maestro, he's gone to that air dribble well one too many times. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that because it's been working relatively well. There's been no side effects to him going for it. Snasky, this could be to finish off the game. Will not have it. I think Carl G had that one covered, but they can't afford to give too much over. Maestro goes for it again. Just needs to win one of those challenges, and that will be game over, and Fnatic will take it.
Ooh. Again, Maestro gives up the ball.
Carl G, he's got support around, but Snasky sniffs the challenge, and he's just going to move forward and take it. Now looking for his chance.
Ooh.
A lot of space being given up from two Swedes. They're just waiting for the ball to come towards them.
And Maestro not content with a half chance right now. He's perfectly willing to play a passive game and go for another challenge.
Ooh, Maestro. Just constantly trying to transfer the ball to a good shooting opportunity. Now it's Vortex, and Snasky uses the wall just to loft the ball above the net. Snasky back out. Maestro won't get there.
Oh, got lucky. Carl G had just shot that ball. This game is over. A lot of space being given by Snasky and Maestro as well. Surprising to see them give up on so many of these potential challenges out of the midfield. Here's a shot, though, far left, and Carl G will tip that into the corner.
What a save that was. Fnatic trying for the pressure, but Maestro, after missing the ball, will be forced to go all the way back. They actually don't look too comfortable here. He's going to allow two Swedes to start moving forward.
Another?
Vortex wants to go for Snasky, but can't quite take it over. And now Snasky's over to the other end of the pitch by himself. Might have been an overextension, but not air. Maestro can't follow up. Two Swedes just saw victory and defeat both flash before their eyes.
And you see both ends of the spectrum there. It's Vortex and Carl G biting off more than they think they can get away with. They're like, we've got a double demo in the net. Let's send everything. And Snasky and Maestro trying to prove them wrong. They got fortunate that wasn't in the back, and Maestro gets in front of this one. Carl G trying to find a pass, and Snasky will cut it out.
And that shot was on target as well. That required Snasky. Although this might require Maestro, who was getting bumped. Achieves, you just sort of threw your pen. We'll pick that up in a second.
I don't understand how Snasky and Maestro are stopping all of these.
That defense has been rock solid all day long, and Maestro just made himself big enough to really force the ball over the top.
It's the craziest thing. Snasky and Maestro are just giving so many opportunities to their opposition, and somehow they're able to keep all of them out.
This is now the longest overtime we've seen this weekend. A demo means Vortex is against Maestro, but Maestro's played for time incredibly well. Might even go the whole way to the net. Carl G
and the demo.
Can't do enough, and Fnatic have got game number 1. But boy, were they made to work for it.
And it doesn't matter at all, you know? It's always just enough to win the game. Surprising to see Vortex and Carl G get so many chances over on the orange side of the net. Oh, another one-goal game for Fnatic. You know, they could be playing Dignitas for all I care. It'd be the same thing. It'd be like, look, we're going to give you the ball. We're going to let you drive it up at us and see what you can do. And then they'll just stop everything in front of the net. They had to make 9 saves that game.
Yeah.
I don't know how they allow this many chances, and they still win. It's insane.
It's an interesting formula, is the way that we can look at it. A lot of pressure in overtime coming in from 2 Swedes there, and you have to give them some props for their mental strength, because they went down pretty early here, 2 goals to 0, and you thought at that point, oh, is this the end of the road for them? It's become a little bit too deep into the tournament, but they managed to come back. They managed to send it to overtime. And for Fnatic to withstand that pressure for so long, so impressive.
Well, we saw it earlier on against Mouse, how when Fnatic usually get a 2-goal lead, that's game over. They've been doing such a good job of locking out. So for 2 Swedes to make a comeback, that's already a huge statement from them. But, and you can sort of say it for the moment which team lost this. Both teams will feel like they should have won that one. It's only that Fnatic did.
It's a great point, and we see some of the replays here towards the end. A great save there from Carl G to send it into overtime, but
and that miss right there, you were thinking, oh my goodness.
That one as well from Vortex, chance there. It really was so tight, and it was just finished at the end.
Exactly, it was whoever finally put the ball in the back of the net. It was one and done on both sides of the pitch, and it's just, you know, Fnatic finally got the demo with a perfect setup.
So we finally got to see some of 2 Swedes. First time we've seen them on broadcast. First time you 2 guys have really laid eyes on them as players in a team. What impressed you, Shogun, about what you saw from them in that first game? Not only obviously taking Fnatic in deep into overtime, but what was impressing you?
I quite like the challenges so far. They're doing a very good job of not necessarily moving forward and trying to take challenges whenever they can, which can sort of be a downfall to many teams where it's just go fast, go for challenges, because if you do that, Fnatic are going to win every single one of them. They're going to open you up into a 2v1. Instead, they're allowing Fnatic to move the ball towards the midfield and then going for the challenge. That gives you so many more options across the field, and also could potentially give you a 1v1, maybe a 2v1. So I kind of like the pacing so far. It wasn't great in the opening minute.
Yeah, felt a little rushed at the start, but they settled in well.
Yeah, once they settled, much better.
Okay, achieves Fnatic seemingly just getting over the line, which is fine for them. You know, that's the thing. I mean, they'll be quite happy to take home a slice of $100,000 if they win by 1 goal every single series.
Yes.
But, I mean,
you're an Arsenal fan. You should be used to this.
What, winning?
Oh, okay, maybe not.
Maybe back in like the 2000s, but you know, we've moved on now. We're solidly in 5th, 6th place. No American fans are going to understand this, but it's fine.
It's the European week. We don't care.
That's very true. But I mean, Fnatic still showing signs that they can bleed and they can be beaten here.
Yes.
It's just they're relying so heavily on this defense at the moment. Do you think that could come back to bite them at some point?
Absolutely. I will continue to stand by that. Fortune favors the offensive. Somehow Fnatic have denied my personal belief system up till now, and they've come out on top more than they've lost. But
I love the typical American response, being presented a fact and saying, nope!
It's amazing. I'm just so surprised because you take any top-level team. If you take Fnatic and you say, all right, K-Dop and Violet Panda, you've got 10 shots on the net versus us, however you want to take them. They've backed out of so many challenges in the midfield. They've given all the space in the world, and they've had to make so many goal line stops, and I just don't believe it's possible to keep it up for that long.
Well, they're going to have to. It seems to be the way if they're going to continue playing the way that they are at the moment. Looks like Game 2 is about to get ready as well, so we'll get into that as soon as we can. But two Swedes down by 1 in the series, but have shown that they have game-winning potential against this Fnatic squad. So I'm expecting a long series here. I'm not expecting a 3-0. I'm expecting at least a 3-1, potentially a Game 5. Let's hope that we can close out this second day of action with a Game 5. But first of all, we've got to get through our second game of the series.
Absolutely do, and Carl G, that was crucial that he did pick up that mid boost. Otherwise, it would have given Snasky both ball and boost, and potentially an open area to the net. Right down the middle, needed to be on target. Follow-up from Vortex, cannot be finished off. Maestro on his hood. Snasky's out looking for blood, and he's just going to slot that one in. You know what, Snasky, you did a lot of the work. You can have that.
Yeah, this was a pretty clean dribble from Maestro. It's great recognition, good vision in front, and Vortex, a heck of an effort, to be fair. He saw the demo come and said, nope, we're going up the back wall. We're taking that option off the table for you guys. And he tried to get back down, but that's all set up by Snaxky, like you said. A good demo attempt, and Maestro biding his time.
Maestro will take this. It's 2 different challenges against Carl G. Neither of them really able to win out. Vortex. It's always going too low for that one to really test Fnatic, who've got an opening lead. I feel like Fnatic are the most dangerous opening minute team in the world right now because they've got yet another one. They've scored more goals within the opening minute than they have throughout minutes 4 through to 0.
And it's a brilliant dribble from Snasky out of the midfield. He gives that little cut to the right side just to get a peek around the ball because he can't really see over it at the top with that dribble at first. And then he says, ah, there he is, and then he just drives it right under him after he sees that short hop. Brilliant play.
Maestro might have the follow-up opportunity. That could have been free within our opening minute. Fnatic seem to be really settling down. It's going to be up to 2 Swedes to try and find new paths.
Nice pass.
He's going to really try and open them up. Snasky right down the middle of the shot.
Little
allow
antsy
Carl G to save.
From 2 Swedes there. Maybe a little double commit syndrome on defense right now. A lot of pressure coming out from Snasky and Maestro. I like it. I'm glad that they get to drive the pace for a little bit.
Carl G. But watch Snasky slowly creeping up on him. That could be dangerous. Maestro to the far side. Off the backboard, and this is now all down to Vortex. He's got it up to Carl G. But Fnatic, just with a boa constrictor hold on this game right now. 2 minutes have been played, and that was about as close to the orange side of that board has been.
Man, Maestro putting on a midfield defense clinic.
Just not letting anything pass. He looks like Maestro from We Them Girls.
Ah, yes.
Back when the midfield belonged to them, although Vortex is going to just slowly drive this one in. And here's the thing when you try and control the midfield, you make even one mistake, you're gone.
Yeah, Snasky, a very risky challenge to say the least. Maestro out of position, up on the opposition's back wall, and he says, I can win this challenge in a 2-on-1 out of the midfield. And you know, maybe if he did, it could have worked out. But again, twos is all about risk management. And giving your opposition a chance to just cream it like that, cut the lead in half, that one's not worth it if you ask me.
It could also be a case of trying to avoid the 2v1. Either way, Fnatic seeing their lead cut in half. Snasky. Have that back down. That is 2 players commit from 2 Swedes.
Wow.
Just difference of ideas from them. For us to pick a side, I believe the infield pass player was definitely the right decision. So, you know, whoever that was not, definitely your fault. Snasky just
nice tip.
Tapping the ball onwards.
And Maestro and Snasky exerting far more pressure on the ball this time. Snasky kind of stuck in the net right there. He had a lot of time to go grab boost, and he's only now just allowed time for that to happen.
Look how far back Carl G is. Considering his team was on the offensive, that's quite a lot of space to be giving up. Although that is a hard save for Maestro to make, and he can't quite do enough. If it's slightly to the left, he can push it to the left. If it's slightly to the right, he can push it to the right. It's right down his throat, though, this one.
Yeah.
And he can't do much more.
You can try and get it above the net, but no. Vortex just launched it at him and said, stop this one.
And once again, two Swedes from 2 goals down have made the comeback. Every single time it looks like they're down and out, they just somehow get themselves back in the game.
No
This
boost
time around,
here
they've
for
got
Vortex.
to try and maintain. Good block again. Snasky looks to get a demo. Follow-up should be around, but Maestro chose better than to go for it. Didn't quite know if Snasky was in a good defensive position. There's more demos happening.
Yeah.
Vortex on Maestro.
Oh, does it pay
and
off?
There's actually nobody around. Off the post.
I was just thinking, Vortex went for that demo on the orange side of the field just because it was an option. He didn't really know what was happening over on the other side of the field. He's like, look, Carl G, you're in a 1v1 fist Snasky. Let me deal with Maestro, and turned into a great opportunity, but the placement not there.
Two Swedes will look at that as a missed opportunity. Had a few of those so far once they get up to 2 goals each. Maestro off the backboard, double tap, gone for and nailed by Maestro.
I think Vortex here, as he was driving back, maybe lost his spot on the field a little bit. Might have thought he was a little closer to the net than he actually was. Stopped well short of the line. And just Vortex, at that point,
I think
outpaced.
he just tried to play dead. Just jumped down onto his back and just went, oh, Maestro, please don't score that. Now 2 Swedes down yet again. This would be their 3rd comeback. Snasky's taken out one of them. And that gives Maestro plenty of time just to do whatever he wants.
Good pass.
Straight back down. Snasky forced to save. Carl G can't get a hold of any boost or any bumps.
Wow. Very patient play there from Vortex. It was a tough read to make. Decided to wait an extra second. Unfortunately, they didn't get possession.
20 seconds left. Oh, should be a 2-goal lead. Maestro didn't get enough contact.
Oh, and a miss.
Snasky, you know he's not going to try and commit for that. There's no need to for him. More bump plays happening. That could have been a 2-0 lead. And now Carl G looking to make him pay. They can't let this one hit the floor. And it looks like a very disjointed attempt, but an attempt nonetheless. Maestro
nice bump.
Keeps attacking Vortex. Fnatic 2-0 up.
Fnatic 2-0 up, as you say, just about managing to scrape out another result there. 2 Swedes showing that they've got the firepower to bring these games back, even though Fnatic keep getting out to these hot starts. But again, Fnatic, a little bit of magic towards the end with a double tap to secure that game. But it was interesting to see towards the end of that game. It seemed like Fnatic were going for a lot more demos and bumps and starting to get a little bit aggressive on their opponents to change things up a bit.
Yeah, just even at the start, Snasky and Maestro already exerting a lot more pressure on the field out of the midfield. Didn't matter how much boost they had, they felt confident enough that they could win challenges versus these guys. And yeah, towards the end of the game, it became about managing the clock and just the situation overall, and said, look, if we take them out of the play, they're not going to be able to convert as much. One little risky over attempt, not quite necessary. They got punished for it, but again, they locked down afterwards and said, all right, let's just make the stops. Tough one for Maestro. Technically a stop, but not good enough. But after that, it was that big missed chance. Had to go in.
That was the only real big, clear opportunity that the guys on 2 Swedes had to get themselves into the lead. And as you say, you always know that Fnatic have something in their locker to win these games. You've got to be putting those ones away, Shogun. I'm sure he'll want that one back.
It happened last game as well, where they had a bit more of a, less clear-cut opportunity. I don't really think opportunities can come more clear-cut than that one than we just saw. But for 2 Swedes, they're playing really well when they're 2 goals down. Maybe a sticky note over the top of the...
You're 2 goals down.
Yes, just all like -2 at all times, and they'll keep playing really well. Just need to be more clinical when the game is just there for them to take. They're very happy to play when they're down, but just look uncomfortable whenever there is a close match.
The strange thing for me is the Fnatic seem to come out of the gates hot, get those first couple of goals, and then they revert back into that style. It almost beggars wonder of why not just continue playing the way that you start the game with.
Thank you.
Because
it's a sprint. What do you guys do? It's a sprint, not a marathon.
It's been so effective in that first minute of the game. You almost feel like it's like, okay, we've won the game now. We'll just kind of see the game out. Whereas
it's like, no, go smash the face in. Come on.
I mean,
no mercy.
If they do that for another minute or so, then there's a potential that they're 3 up, and then that's much more comfortable to manage the last few minutes of the game.
Exactly.
It feels like Fnatic in the first minute is S tier. Fnatic for the rest of the game is B tier.
Fair enough. Well, they are, again, doing enough to make it through. That's the important thing for them, and they'll be quite happy not to have to sweat too hard if they make it through right now. So third game now. Will Fnatic close this one out, or do you think the two Swedes are going to find a way back in? Because it's all or nothing now for them.
I think there's too much in the favor of Fnatic, and also a big difference maker is their ability to convert half chances. I think they're just too mechanically sound. They've been around too long at the top. They've got all that experience behind them as well. They're not going to crack under any sort of pressure. So,
two Swedes. Is the dream dead?
I picked two Swedes when we came in.
I picked Fnatic.
Did ya?
No.
Oh.
But I did now.
I picked two Swedes when I came in here. The story, if they were to make the comeback, would sound too
mind-blowing.
cool. So I'm going to stick with it.
You're sticking with it.
I respect. I don't know.
You're a stronger man than I am. Let's find out anyway. It's time for our third game of the series. Fnatic looking for the sweep right now. Two Swedes. Have you got a reverse sweep in you?
So here's the idea, Achieves. No one ever brings it up to you. If the team is 2-0 down and you stick with them, no one ever cares. If they make the comeback, I'm a genius. Carl G. And take over. It's that opening minute right now that we're looking to from Fnatic. They've just been so dangerous previously. Maestro tries to tap down, but Carl G should have this. Gonna go behind Snasky, who's slightly out of position. Carl G, though, low on boost. You should tell for the amount of double jumps that he was taking. And Maestro, he's I feel like he's overplayed that one. Carl G just looking at him going, oh, okay, cool.
But why?
Now Carl G on his hood. Snasky early challenge, that is crucial. Did not allow Carl G to take that ball into his own control.
Man, Vortex really trying to assert some physical control over this game, trying to take Maestro out of a couple of plays.
I'd actually like to see two Swedes go a bit wider with their secondary player. They've got a player on the right-hand wall. Send someone close to the left-hand side of the field, so you've got the ability to roll onto the ball. But they're just behind shadowing at this moment, and it's not working out.
Yeah, it makes the offense one-dimensional when you don't have a good spread. You limit your options by not being lateral.
Well, just off screen, Carl G is gone. It means Maestro can try and take the shot. Snasky with the follow-up. Vortex will push that one just away. Now Carl G, 0 boost. I actually like this idea. Just get some space for your team and then look to see if you can steal anything, but...
Good chance for Maestro. It's been effective so far.
Now Snasky. Early shot from him. Carl G can't get there.
Now Maestro didn't really do too much with this one this time. Vortex was right on top of it, but unfortunately that ball kicked right out, and Carl G made the wrong read. He thought Maestro was going to win that ball, and it was going to go up the side wall. Started moving that direction. It kicked right back out in the midfield, and just too much time to turn around and try and make a save.
Now, it must be said, Snasky's positioning has been so good this series. He just plants himself in the middle of the field and just says, it's coming to me.
Yeah,
I know for a fact it's coming to me. And every single time he's done it, guess what? It's come to him. Opportunity to try and even this up. Two Swedes. Trying to find some way to save their tournament lives. The Maestro of that demo. Gonna make life much more difficult. Vortex did pick up the boost. Now gonna go off the ceiling, but pretty much no commitment from Fnatic means that this is gonna be so hard to get it any further.
Tough clear here for Carl G. Oh, beautiful.
He's done well enough with it. There was enough pace, and he just got there for the half volley. Snasky. That would have been pretty ridiculous if he got it to work out. Carl G is off looking for Maestro, who doesn't seem to be around to hit. If you're going to go for that, you don't want to be taking the ball into the air.
Yeah, it wasn't the best touch. First touch from Vortex. It went straight up, didn't have a lot of forward distance. Carl G was cherry-picking there, and he was like, look, you have a pass option, but again, that first touch, a little bit too much on it, and it really limited what he could do with it afterwards.
Time ticking away. 2 minutes left in this game, still 1-0 to Fnatic. Vortex has got it past Maestro, looking to go over the top of Snasky.
Here we go.
Carl G has to get this, but it's right down through the middle, and Snasky can cover it.
Yeah, Carl G had to shoot that one slow. Maestro came out right in front of it. If he just blasts into that ball, Maestro takes it out to the side. Carl G had to make the adjustment, and Snasky was there to cover it.
Yet again, the recovery from Fnatic, too strong in defense. Seems like both players are able to get 2 or 3 saves before they're officially out of the play. Maestro's just going to test Vortex a little bit, but now the 2v1. They've got to make this work out, and they have done it. They see the chance, and they seize the chance.
That was a brilliant play from Vortex, not trying to clear that ball off the back wall, let it bounce onto his hood, because Carl G was out in front of him, and Carl G says, all right, buddy, you want to dribble it? I'll go make a move out of the way, and they do just that. Brilliant execution on the 2v1 for 2 Swedes.
Snasky tried to find a path, but none would have worked out for him. Karl G's going to have to try and save a Snasky shot. And now suddenly Fnatic might have to be a little bit more careful with where they put these. These 2 Swedes have now shown a happiness just to leave a player in the midfield that can turn around.
Oh, what a block.
There's the follow-up. Maestro, he can finish this one. And he's going to do exactly that. 2 Swedes just panicked.
There's a massive block from Snasky in the midfield, and Vortex just trying to get that quick turnaround in the midfield because it stalled right in front of him. And unfortunately just beat out to the ball by Maestro.
Just assumed that he could get there in time. Instead, it was all Maestro.
All set up by that brilliant block from Snasky, though. Awesome follow-through.
So now that 1-0 lead, well, 1 goal lead re-established. Looking for a pass over to Vortex. It's too heavy. And Snasky, this has dropped very nicely for him. But yet again, they'll be happy to see that Karl G is on 0 boost. Otherwise, that could have been another transition goal for 2 Swedes. Flip reset, gained.
Wow. I think Maestro gave a little bit of respect to that touch there for Vortex. I think he was about to go for it and then said, hang on, what if he hits it?
Oh, 2 Swedes go for the same ball yet again.
Antsy.
Very antsy. They're not going to get too many opportunities. Karl G to the corner. He wants to pick up the boost, but it's a very heavy first touch. Might put it behind Vortex.
10 seconds.
Final roll of the dice for 2 Swedes. They've taken out Team Secret and they've taken out Dig the Cats. But they need to do this, and they will not be able to. Maestro finishes the job. Vortex is out of here. His team is out of here. Fnatic progress to Thursday.
And at the end of the day, it just came down to speed in this last game. Maestro and Snasky read the ball. Couple of...
Maybe a 2v1 goal. No mercy, Maestro.
Oh, he saved it.
I respect that anyway. I respect that every day of the week.
I do.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. A 3-0 sweep to finish the day out on day number 2 here of the Universal Open European Closed Qualifiers. Fnatic make it through. They've made it through. It was going to be one heck of a job for any team to make it through to our final day, who's been going through all of the matches today. Such a deep talent pool in every single team, but they managed to do it. They managed to do just enough to make it through to tomorrow.
But at least games 2 and 3 out of that series were a little bit more out of than I wanted. Started getting far more offensive chances, even in this game number 3 especially. Started really boxing in Karl G and Vortex over on their own half and giving them way less opportunities on net. A lot of shots on net, not necessarily quality, but just testing the defense and saying, look, you're going to have to make some stops here, and it cost a lot of time. And eventually they pulled through.
I feel like there was just one major change from Fnatic, and it's a small change, but it became so big, is that off-the-ball player became a shadow player. Very close to the on-ball player, and they were just going for challenges. They were happy to go for a challenge. As soon as the ball became loose, Maestro, Snasky, whoever was not going for the original dribble, then came through, took control of the ball, and took a shot. And that just meant that they could keep consistent pressure up because they were always first to the ball.
Okay, well, one thing to point out for the final time today as well is overall today we had 71 goals scored, which is a fantastic achievement. It was a grind today, to be honest, in some of these matches. Very, very tightly competitive games. So 710 meals will be donated thanks to our partners over at Soylent to the World Food Programme USA for the final time today. If you want to get involved, head over to wfpusa.org/Universal Open. And again, massive thanks to our partners over at Soylent for everything they're doing during Season 2 of the Universal Open. Now, one thing that I'm always excited to talk about, and one thing that you gave away earlier, Achieves, disappointed in you. No, you put a suggestion in the suggestion box, is of course the State Farm Assist of the Day.
Yes. I still hope it's that one, just because it was so funny. That's all I want.
Okay, fair enough. Anything that stood out to you, Shogun?
No, actually, I'm probably going to have to stick with Achieves on this one. That was...
I'm
going to try not to reveal too much about it right now, because...
just in case people tuned in after it
Just
happened.
in case.
Okay, well, if we are ready, we'll obviously bring up our State Farm Assist of the Day and see who managed to take that one home. Who is it going to be?
Oh, it's not. Dignitas method, okay.
See, knowing that Dignitas is on the field, okay. Ooh. All right. Oh, it's off the backboard. Okay, there's the follow.
Rich Runday.
It's a good outplay out of the midfield, and even better to just buy some space out onto the other side. Violent Panda doesn't have any boost to work with there in that situation, and Rix Ronde keeps it slow and says, hang on a minute, let's make sure you don't get any chances. Pulls him out of the way, too. Rix Ronde beating everybody and saying, yes, here's a silver platter, and please put this one in, Burrito.
And finish your dinner. And Burrito did finish his dinner, ironically called Burrito as well. Anyway, let's remind ourselves in that series as well. That was a series where Method did manage to take down Team Dignitas. But let's have a brisk bracket update now, and let's show you how everything is stacked up for tomorrow. It has been a war so far in this European closed qualifier. The final teams that we have left, we have 6 teams left who will go to battle once more tomorrow. The first game of the day will have No Names taking on Class on Grass, Complexity taking on Girls, and then at the bottom of our bracket you can see Fnatic and Method are the 2 survivors of everything that happened today. I mean, we lost PSG, we lost Dignitas, we lost Dignicats, we lost Mal Sports. It has been a battle, gentlemen, and I mean, both Method and Fnatic, although they've made it through, they're going to have their wounds.
And, you know, all the credit in the world to them. There's a reason we called it the blender on day 1. It's because it's not easy once you go into a blender to get out of it. And if there's any 2 teams that were going to do it, Method and Fnatic earned it.
Okay, well, the final thoughts from you, Shogun, on what has been an attritional day of Rocket League.
Make sure you're here tomorrow, because it only gets better.
Okay, well, of course, we always want to hear from you guys as well. We thank you for joining us, but make sure you use the hashtag UOS2 and follow us at Universal Open to make sure that you're up to date with absolutely everything. Get your predictions in for tomorrow. Let us know the 4 teams who you think are going to make it through to the finals. It's going to be a crazy day tomorrow. We hope that you'll join us. We'll be back the same time tomorrow to find our 4 qualifiers. We have 6 teams left. There's only 4 spots to go. We'll find out tomorrow who goes through to the finals.
So, State Farm will be here to help protect our home.
Of course.
What about here?
Yep.
Here? Here?
Feels a little awkward.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
We're watching the Universal Open together.
And he was in charge of the snacks.
I might have gone a little overboard.
Brisk Dual Force Guava Ginger Limeade, exclusively available at 7-Eleven for a limited time.
trying to find a trace. I'm calling, shouting out your name. I'm calling. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? I'm helpless, and the walls are caving in. Can't breathe now, losing my sanity. I'm calling, shouting out your name. I'm calling. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Your silhouette out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Your silhouette out of the corner of my eye, out of the corner of my eye. Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is?
reason, it's a feeling, and it's filled by memories shared with you. It doesn't matter if our love is shattered. Every moment is a new beginning. You made me